Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but
Jacko better do some shit. Jacko better do some shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit now. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko better do some 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 shit. Jacko don't do shit.
Nope! Nope!
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
So chase greatness and start understanding that he's gonna make everybody better.
Tape never lies.
I don't want to see your tape breakdowns if you cannot show me things that are negative about a guy that's on your current team.
Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag take that.
Keep it 100.
Because I'll make this one more time clear. Caden Whitlow, cut it. He is the best quarterback I have ever scouted on tape.
The Chicago Bears select.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keep it in 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the taking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now the mouth stuck like the Jew and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sack strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane.
Give me some fucking names in 2 fucking games.
Fuck a play or a captain, all of the up there. The tape never lies, the truth, you see. We laugh, we lie, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trip stat. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, what is good, TTNL family? It's Wednesday night, and y'all know y'all watching the best bear show on the planet. Of course, so much to talk about. We got the man, the myth, the legend, and sorry, Phil and Shane, but he's my favorite TTNL person. We got Jim Larrison joining.
Oh my God, Greg, droning on and on. Shut the fuck up, dude.
That's why he's my favorite. He's the one behind the network, so we get to get the story on that. So without further ado, let me bring in the guys that y'all really came here to see. Hi, Phil and Shane.
Hey, Cherie.
Hey, Cherie.
What does your shirt say?
Oh, the
People's Choice Awards?
No, the Black Panthers People's Free Food Program.
Nice.
Okay.
Cherie gets free food every Wednesday night.
I wish.
Look, her mom is even giving you a shout out.
Hey, Miss Deborah. I think we missed her last week. We were too busy talking, and she came to give some love to her guys.
And we got to show Coach love tonight.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Boy. He's going to make an appearance later tonight, I told him.
Yeah.
He's never met Jim Larrison. either all this time.
We got a bigger strip.
Yes, Angelo called me 4 times today.
Yeah, I got your cursory phone call for a script, and I was so fucking busy. I'm like, well, that ain't fucking happening.
Shane keeps forgetting to give him the script.
Oh God,
Zorich is like, "Where's the script? It's
TTNL. There is no script.
Where's the script, Zorich?"
I played the
Speaking of
Jackal doesn't do shit, and people were predicting that meant Jackal was back tonight, but
no,
he is not.
He didn't make it.
Let's throw curls, curls, curls.
Jackal's out on the field running curls right now.
Yeah.
On soccer field. Just curl there and I'll kick you the ball.
Come on, son. You know you want to play soccer. I want to play football. Dad?
Dad's like,
nope.
You don't want to get hurt. Speaking of scripts, how about Clay Harbor? Still on his script.
You mean Sean Merriman?
Sean Merriman or Clay Harbor? I don't know, Adam. Which guy you had on the show? Sean Merriman or Clay Harbor?
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was, but whatever guy it was has the football acumen of a pigeon. I can't even understand where he's coming from.
I had to unfollow Clay on social media. It got to be a little bit too much.
Oh my God.
He's using it for all the wrong reasons, but whatever, it's fine.
Him and Peter King. Peter, just travel off into the distance, bro. You're a writer and a gatherer of information. I've always pointed this out. Guys with sources and stuff like that, they don't analyze shit.
I liked his reasoning. You know, the Bears should have stayed with Justin Fields. That they could have controlled 2 drafts in a row. They fucking did. They controlled the last 2 drafts.
Control 3, Peter, and keep passing because they haven't passed for fucking 4,000 yards in freaking 100 years.
Oh no, year 4 or maybe 5 or 6. It's gonna the light's gonna go off.
Stay away from football at some point. Go right about Cornell with what's his name from The Office? Peter King was in Andy's fucking acapella group. That's where he belongs. Can you remember their name?
The acapella group?
Yeah. Andy's acapella group. It's someone in the chat remember their name.
Somebody will have it. Wasn't it Keepin It something?
No, I only know the last part. Son treble.
Treble. Yeah, I remember that part now that you bring it up.
Someone got it for me. I know what's his name? Here comes treble. There it is.
Lucas always is our trivia guy. We're like, yeah, somebody will have it.
Logan's like, Drake May?
Yeah. Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch? Was it perfect Mitch pitch? Perfect pitch Mitch? Perfect pitch Mitch. What would Logan's acapella group be called? Clueless?
Damn.
What would Logan's acapella? Maybe we should run a contest.
This proves there is no script here. Clay Harbor got me off. Ryan Cox does a great job getting me fired up for every show. Sends me Peter King's writing. And I'm like, I thought he retired. No, he's putting together a Father's Day piece. I'm like, oh my God. Peter King's freaking a cappella group.
No, I have the.
You got it?
No, I have the updated.
The updated?
The updated TV rankings.
Uh-oh.
You know who those are from, right?
Oh.
The updated TV rankings for
TV
what?
show rankings.
Come on, man.
What's
You know
that?
who
The TV show rankings.
TV show rankings.
Oh, Mr. Larrison's. The 1840.
All right. So, what is his 18th in honor of Caleb Williams? What is his 18th ranked show? It was from 2011. And if anybody gets this, I will finance the Bears' new stadium myself.
His 18th ranked show.
Yes.
In honor of Caleb Williams.
In honor of Caleb Williams. And the show started in 2011.
Yeah. 2011.
2011.
Nobody's going to get it.
So it wasn't MASH.
No, it is Frozen Planet from the BBC.
Oh my God. Totally didn't even have that on my top 5,000.
I'm just picturing Jim in my brain and him saying, "Yeah, get Frozen Planet in the top 20. This is just fucking killing me at night. I can't sleep. I got this fucker. It's cemented at 22. I got to get this fucker in the top 20."
Oh my God. I wouldn't know how you even got it from the BBC.
He's got it sandwiched in between the Twilight Zone and Curb.
Is it?
Now, I'm a Twilight Zone fan. I'm not going to lie.
Is it the old Twilight or the newer one with Peel?
Peel.
No, it's the old from 1959.
I like that one.
And that was ranked what? 17 or 20 or 19 rather?
Twilight was 19. Curb was 17.
Okay, I was gonna say Curb's got to be up there, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just crack up watching Curb.
Dwight Schrute would be ecstatic with his number 3 overall rank.
Got to be The Office, right? Beats.
Bears, Beats.
Oh,
what's the rest?
What's it called?
Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica. Steph's uncle loves that show too.
JJ almost had it. Frozen Planet.
JJ.
I have never seen it. I'm sure there's a lot of these that I have not seen, but
He was about to guess Frozen Planet. I don't think so. Oh my God.
The private jet has just landed. So
Caleb,
Mr. Larrison. Mr. Larrison is getting his hot towel to freshen up. And
we went to a Chinese food place tonight and they brought like a hot towel with lavender at the end of the dinner.
Tate slapped Devin across the face with it.
There was no violence. They both were like, Tate is a food smeller, like before anything.
Oh, really?
I don't care if it's like a hot dog roll. He'll be like, me and Steph will bet on it. When's he gonna smell this food? He'll be like,
I was on the phone experiencing Tate and Dev yesterday while they were home with their father.
Oh my God.
Yesterday. Hear Phil talking. I hear these two hoodlums in the background. Are we going to Dunkin' Donuts? And then 30 seconds later, you hear all this commotion. And I hear Phil say, now you're not going to Dunkin' Donuts. You're Devin. Come on, Tate. You do this every time.
Total chaos. Total chaos.
They're out of school?
No.
Oh.
They have been home. They got out early today, but they were home yesterday with me. I took the day off because the state trooper, Officer Pelletier, was hit. Lost in service, RIP, and my condolences to his family here. He's an state policeman and an officer here in town in Southington. And there was just so many police and people celebrating his life. He leaves behind his wife and his children. It's a very sad day, sad stuff. So the school gave because there's just so much traffic, bus routes and everything were going to be shut down. So send my best to him and his family. And then today they had a half day, but yesterday I was home with them. And of course, Mommy said that you were going to bring us to Dunkin'. You got to get their I bring them to Dunkin' before every game on Sunday. That's
what's their go-to?
Their go-to is the same order. They have this dragon fruit
I know what it
drink with water instead of green tea, 2 egg or 1 egg and cheese wrap, and a donut. That's what they eat pre-game. That's their pre-game meal. I go, you know this is going to change, right? When you get a little older.
Yes.
So that's what they drink. That dragon fruit. Bullets loves it. Bullets loves it. So before every game, the undefeated, Shane. This undefeated Bears again.
Cheater.
We haven't lost.
Cheater.
Knock on wood in 2 years here. The NFL SVFL
set the tone.
We set the tone. We set the tone, and all the parents hate us now. We're playing this game. All these other games go on at the same time, Sheree. This is funny. You're gonna like this. I hope I didn't tell it already.
I haven't heard this.
So, we're undefeated. So we're the nemesis everywhere. Like everyone's preparing to beat us, right? So there's 5 fields, lined up, and everyone plays going in one direction. So fans of, the Patriots, kids, and whoever on that field. This week we were playing the Chiefs, and the coach he wants to beat me all the time. I don't think he hates me, but he definitely has a rivalry. So we're playing them, and they're out for blood, and we beat them 27-0. But we're playing the game, and Dev scores a big touchdown to start the game off. And you hear touchdown, all right. Other fields, kids are scoring touchdowns. Their fans are like screaming. We get in the huddle, we score. Another kid scores. We get back. Go on D. We get the ball back. We're in the huddle. Dev goes, why don't our fans not cheer for us? Like all these other teams cheer for us. And I go, I guess we're spoiling them all the touchdowns we score.
Not even exciting anymore.
Yeah, it's just another one. That's Dev. He wanted to know why our fans aren't hyped. So I got to yell at him. We're playing the Cowboys this Sunday, Sheree. So we got to yell at our fans need to be louder. We got to be a little bit more fiery for our Bears. Although my girl Harper had probably one of the best interceptions I've seen in a long time. She came up, broke on the ball, did it exactly how I coached it. We play cover 2. So I told her, I go, keep your eyes on the quarterback, get in your back pedal, stay low, eyes on the quarter. I don't care if anyone's running at you, he's going to tell you, or she is going to tell you where the ball is. Sure enough, she backpedaled, saw the kid, he waited, he moved this way, she stayed. Then she saw and read the route, broke on it right in front of him, picked it off. I was so fired up for her. Then she had a batted pass in the end zone. She was all over the place.
Oh man, I'm loving to hear that.
Yes, we play co-ed. I have Isla and Harper.
Cut Isla. Get her
It's
out.
Hyla, Shane, not Hila.
Oh, close enough. So I did the show with Big Steve, and he was sharing with me one of his favorite videos that he sent you. And when I said set the tone, that was where that was from. The father with the picking his son up from school, and he puts the bear filter on. Did you see it?
Yeah. It
says
the kids crying in the back.
I'm gonna share it here with everybody so they kind of take you behind the scenes. This is Big Steve's favorite
Steve Edwards.
favorite video. It is pretty funny. I would 100% do this to my child.
How was school today? Hello? There's a bear driving.
Daddy, is not that?
Nope, I'm a bear. You're in my world now. You want to go home? Yeah. You are home in my bear cave. Set the tone.
Is that Peter King?
Did you say set the tone?
Set the tone. Yeah. That's why when we were talking about it, it popped into my head. Yeah, that's Big Steve's favorite.
Caleb is winning over the fans with his. Now, was it true that he was leading the F Green Bay chants?
He wasn't leading it. They started chanting it, and he was just pumping his arms to it. He wasn't.
I didn't know because he was he was singing Drake, so I didn't know if someone overlaid it and overdubbed F Green Bay.
And he wasn't leading it.
Okay. Still, I don't. If he was leading it, I don't care because I agree with him. F Green Bay. It's time to take that step.
That's right.
I saw Scottish Bear. What's up, my guy? Sending Scottish Bear a lot of positive love and energy. Big Steve sent us some notes and nuggets, but you could see how excited Steve was.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to pop on later tonight, but Caleb looks smooth as silk, connected with Keenan Allen multiple times and DJ Moore multiple times during the move the chain situation. So kind of a 2-4 minute drill. Steve was watching and he was just so blown away with Caleb Williams' ability and anticipation. I told Greg Braggs, tell his boys to stop analyzing practice until they get their heads screwed on straight with practice. Practice, as I said, is when, and thank you, Jeremy Fowler, for doubling down, and our guy Albert Breer for trying to keep the blog boys in line. Like, when you put on pads, the real cream rises to the top. Analyzing practice, you have no idea what the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, or anybody is completely telling the quarterback and his people to do. If we are going in a drill, a 2-minute drill, why can't you understand that the coach is saying, hey, throw the ball no matter what? We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. We want to make sure that you challenge your arm in practice. So you can't read into shorts and helmets. It's just dumb. And it's a lot of false takes and a lot of jealousy is out there. Like, all you have to do, Chicago Bears, is bring Phil and Shane and get us the, what is it? Press pass.
Yeah.
And then we go analyze practice. And then you'd get the most truthful, thorough analysis. I don't care on anywhere, because I will tell you what I see in practice. based on what it is football is measured.
There's too many dramatics for the positive and the negative. I mean, right now it's just like everybody was losing their minds over the Velus Jones catching. I looked at it and I'm like, why are you on the ground? Did you see the deep pass?
I didn't get to see that one.
There was nobody around, and he could have just caught the ball and ran through the ball. But Velus does what Velus does. He goes onto the ground, just like, who was it against the Saints, or I forget who it was on that one. And he messed up, but it's just little things like that. It's just like, why leave your feet when you don't have to in practice?
Doesn't make any sense, bro. A lot of these guys, to Shane's point, they want to do the dramatics. They want to hype up dramatics and get a lot of clicks. It's called click searching. There's guys out there that are just driving the temperature of the fan base to get their own notoriety. My goal is to shut people like Clay Harbor up, bring him on the show if he's willing, and then go from there. Now, can you send that other Italian on the motorbike link?
Well, what time do you want him on?
Well, I see our guests in the chat first, so let's bring this guy out.
But he's not on. Yeah.
Not the other one.
No. But I see the one that's in the
green room. We'll just wish him a happy birthday.
But there's no video on his end. He's got to turn the video on.
I see him.
I see him. Video.
Oh.
Bears fans, honestly, at this point, this guy doesn't even need an introduction. But guess what? We're giving him one anyway.
Keeping it 100.
Ladies and gentlemen, football is a game about what? That's right. Determination.
It's determined by determination.
A Brooklyn, New York native. This guy would suit up at Lafayette High School under the esteemed tutelage of head coach Sam Rutigliano.
One time, baby. One time.
From there, he would head east to Mississippi Junior College and then on to the Cornhuskers of Nebraska.
And here are the Nebraska Cornhuskers roughing into Memorial Stadium.
Before settling at Trinity of Texas, where he was a starter for 3 straight seasons and became an All-American offensive guard. You still have some left in the tank, coach? We need some offensive line help here in Chicago. After his playing days, this guy really made a name for himself at Lyman Hall, coaching the sport and the kids he loved in the stadium that now bears his name.
Philatosian.
Bears fans, TTNL fans, football fans, get up out your seats and give it up for a guy so damn good, he made a junior version of himself.
They're running Patterson on a toss sweep gimmick. This is a coach that has no concept.
We are honored to introduce the former Walter Camp Coach of the Year, the Walter Camp Hall of Famer, the Connecticut Hall of Fame coach. He's our coach.
You got to load up on him or you go backwards.
He's Philip Otoshan Sr.
We got a big show tonight. You got a big show. 84 years old, young today. We wanted to bring you on. Wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I thought I was going to be with your kids and Stephanie, but you're on the show.
Oh, it's even better. You get us, coach.
You get us.
You're right.
That's fun. The fans were speaking. Hopefully, you'd be on the show tonight. We got my other brother from another. I don't know. You probably didn't have this guy as one of your children, but he feels like a brother tonight. You've never met Jim. Jim Larrison coming on the show.
Was he on?
He's coming on. He's in the green room. Shane and I sent him lobster tail, filet mignon.
He's doing push-ups in his office right now, Coach. He's getting ready. He saw you pounding somehow. So he's like, I'm going to show Coach O what I got.
But
I got all kinds of calls today. Former players. Oh my God, it was just great talking to people and everything.
Well, yeah,
it was really something else. And then I took Pat out to dinner at Gaetano's, my favorite restaurant.
Nice.
It's her favorite too. And we had you guys never had this, but stuffed mussels. That's an appetizer. Oh, they're so good.
I don't do mussels.
Oh, see, I'm a clam guy. I'll eat everything, you know.
I know you eat anything.
Those mussels are unbelievable. They're delicious. Then I had a baby rack ribs. Oh my God, was that good? I mean, about this big. Let me see if my hands can get on it. It was huge.
Oh, it's bigger than your screen.
I'll tell you what. The Pat and I, the bill was $108. I mean, we didn't even have a drink. But the food is that good.
Is it that good or is that pricey?
It's everything's pricey now, Phil. I mean, you know what I worry about? It's so pricey that the average guy's not going to go out and eat anymore.
No, we're very economical, my family.
He doesn't hear. Do you hear the drop on your end or no?
What drop?
Yeah,
when he plays that, do you hear it? If we play this, can you hear it?
We got a bigger strip.
I got him now. I have to punch it every time you do that.
Yeah, we got to get you a headset so you can hear all the funny shit you miss.
No, I have to punch it here with my finger to get it on. It shuts off.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
but
you just punch it, flick it. Ivan told me you flick it.
Ivan seen.
Yes. Hey, Angelo.
We were trying to get him on early tonight. We're juggling all these amazing TTNL family.
We sent him to your house, Coach.
I can't understand. You
we
guys
sent him to your house with spaghetti.
Between your fans and everything, they should be so happy. You're finally going to have a winner this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
My words, it's going to happen.
Jim's betting against us, man. He's betting the under, for God's sake. I don't want to spoil
it. It's kind of hard to go against Jim, though. He's
pretty
on fire. Yeah,
he's pretty good at this shit. But he'll sneakily. I bet you he bet the over too. I guarantee.
You gotta cover your
guaranteeing to win.
Yeah, he's guaranteed to win. So,
well,
but we wanted to bring you on tonight.
They got New England to win 2 games this year. I was listening to the radio. 2 games they can win. And you know something, you can't tell. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, once you start going to training camp and you start preseason, you don't know what's going to happen. You guys, you know, you have great leadership, guys that are really determined to do something. They can turn things around.
Are you excited for Drake? What do you think of
Drake? You know something, I haven't really seen him. I'd like to see him at this pro camp now. I haven't seen him. You know, when they put the gear on and they
when we broke him down a little bit.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's got some talent, some traits, some tools. He's not there. It's going to take him. I don't see him starting right away.
No, me either.
No, I don't think they want him to start.
Yeah, that's probably the smart thing. Sit him on the bench. But listen, I wanted to bring you on tonight. I know you're ate a lot, but I wanted to. We all wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
And then we're going to bring out our headliner guest because I want you to stay on and officially meet Jim.
Yeah, I would.
Our fans, you get ready to press the button because Shane and I produced this intro for him, much like we produced the intro for you. So let's I know he's taking it. Go ahead, take your last bite, Jim, of that lobster tail. There you go. Wipe your chin.
You could see him?
Yes.
Not yet.
Let's bring him out the way we do. He is the guy that basically put the engine together for this network. The true believer, the negotiator, our Yoko.
Yes.
That got us out of the fire and into the heavenly sky, as Angela would say, like the fields of Montana. Do you have that speech, Shane? Please get it ready for my dad to hear it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's bring him out. Jim Larrison.
As we enter the doldrums of the NFL offseason, it's the perfect time for us to have on some key pieces of TTNL Network that some of you may not
Hear
know.
this dribble and drabble.
But without them,
you big pussy,
we wouldn't exist at all.
Here's the tape. The tape doesn't lie.
You heard his name mentioned numerous times throughout the thousands of broadcast hours of TTNL Network these last 4 years. But tonight, you're going to see him live with his guys, Phil and Shane. Bears fans, TTNL fans, it is our distinguished honor to have on the linchpin of TTNL.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Our leader. He's not my Yoko. He's not your Yoko. He's our Yoko.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker!
Ladies and gentlemen, please get up out your seats and give it up for the driver of the Fuck Greg Braggs tour bus.
He's scared. He's gun shy.
He's Jim Larrison.
There he is.
Hey, Jim.
What's up? Hey, old man. How's it going? I'm in space.
Yeah, I'm in space.
I hope to meet you in person one day. We tried to meet you. We came out to Connecticut, but it was a bad timing, I guess.
Yeah. It's too bad we didn't meet.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll be out
looking
there
forward
again.
to seeing you. Maybe
Yeah,
one
we'll
of
be
these
out
days.
again. We'll
I'll
come
be
out
in
to
Chicago.
Yeah, you're coming out for the game, I think, right?
I hope so. I don't. We have to work something out with my wife because she can't be left alone. That's the big
Yeah.
one.
Maybe Steph can hang out with her.
Yeah. Steph or my sister. But we're working on that plan.
We're gonna leave her with Tate and
I bought a
Dev.
bunch
She'll
of
be
tickets
fine.
for that game. So, as soon as I heard you were coming, I bought like the whole section.
Tim wasn't playing
You
around.
can see if you get a return.
Yeah.
Our guy,
Listen,
Jim. Go
I'm
ahead.
in favor of going. So let's hope that Pat somehow we can work this thing out.
Right out the gate, a super chat for Coach O. Let's go, Coach O. A headset for his birthday. We love you, Coach O.
I got a headset here. I just don't put it on.
I don't know.
$50. Well, somehow we got to get you to hear these drops, even if he cheers for the wrong NFL team. He said, so there you go.
As long as I'm rooting for my son, that's all I care about. He loves that Bears team, and I can't wait for them to win. I mean it.
Don't forget about me, Coach. I'm part of this family too.
Yeah, you're in that too, but blood's thicker than water. You know that.
I feel bad for Coach. It's going to be a long run for the Patriots. I think you got 20 years of losing coming your way.
If they didn't fire Belichick, he needed 3 guys, and he would have got them this year, and he win this year.
Yeah,
that radio station WEEI got him fired.
There you go.
Every day they persecuted him. Oh my God, I was so upset.
Phil, could you hear me? This is your dad speaking. Can you hear me? I'm in space.
There it is. There it is. One of the favorite drops here on your birthday. 84 years old.
Amazing.
Or young. In space still, Dad. You're in our space. Our
I'll tell you
space.
right now, I never thought I was going to make it. I remember my last year coaching. I mean, it's just so you want to win so bad, but you got kids that are gym rats. They aren't real athletes. You know what I mean? they had the heart and everything, but they didn't have the skills. And fortunately, we ended up winning the last game. I had a bunch of big brute guys in the line, but they weren't quick, and the team that we were going to play was much quicker than we were. And I said, if it rains, we win. And it rained, and we beat them. Oh, we beat them. We embarrassed them.
Embarrassed them. They were a better, more athletic team, and
I knew I was retiring. The kids didn't know, and no one knew except Phil and one of my coaches and one of my captains who coached at Southern Connecticut State University. He was the head coach, Rich Kavanaugh. He was the only other guy that knew that I was going to retire right after that game, and I did. And after that, my stomach was at ease. I was fishing. I was golfing. I was relaxed. That's how I made it to 84. I want to tell you something. If I had coached another 5 years, I might have gone already. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's a lot of stress in coaching. There's no doubt about it.
I get nervous before these flag games, for God's sake. So you're not kidding. Tackle games, forget about it. Going over things in my head all day, night, trying to get an advantage. But
I had a bunch of parents that were disloyal as hell. And Sam called me out to Cleveland. He wanted me to come out there.
Yeah.
So I flew out there, and this group met with the superintendent and all these people to get me fired. And there was a young lady there, Mrs. Golak.
Bay Golak.
That's right. B. Golak went there and fought those people and embarrassed them. And I came home. I wouldn't stay there. I said, Sam, I got to get home. I went home. I said, for crying out loud, here I am, the winningest coach in school's history, and they want to get rid of me. But that's what happens.
And they love you one
just
day.
like you're going through now with these people, and they're not happy about this. They're not happy about this. They want to say that they were right. They want to believe that they were right. They don't want to hear you. They want to see Justin Fields. He could have done it. That kind of thing. Right. Oh boy, I tell you. You're on your way. That's all you have to do. You start winning, and everybody pipes
Peter
down.
King was pulling that shit out of his ass today, right? And it's just embarrassing at this point. At some point, put down the typewriter or whatever you're writing on and understand you're a gatherer of information.
Peter King with NBC Sports here. Just have one thing to say. The tape never lies.
It never does.
And he doesn't listen to that one thing.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Alex Acevedo had him at gunpoint.
Well,
that's how he said that.
All I can do is ask you, congratulate you guys for having a great show. And finally, I get to meet Jim Larrison. And I heard so much about you, and my son really respects you, and in a lot of ways he loves you, and I'm sure that it's a reciprocal thing.
Yeah.
You have
He's a
respect
great guy.
for one another, great respect, and I'm sure that Shane is in that boat as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I have, many of friends, loyal friends, like I was saying today. I had some of my players call me today. I didn't even know how they knew about my birthday, and it was unbelievable just to hear from a lot of them. So it's a great day for me. I'm still above ground, right? Above grass, as they say. And I'm hoping to make 90 because I got these two little guys, Phil's boys. I want to see them when they're in high school getting out, when they're senior year playing. They're going to be great players. That's my prediction. And I got two now that are in there. One's going to be an all-state defensive end. I guarantee you that. Maybe this senior year, but maybe he's got a junior year. Listen to this, Jim. This kid started every game from his the first freshman game, the varsity game, his freshman year. He started a defensive end. That's the year before last year, and this year. Now, he started off as a 165-pound defensive end. Now he's 210 pounds. The doctor said 250. He's 6'3". They say he's going to be 6'5", 250. This kid's going to be a major guy.
He'll go to
I've
Iowa.
been around a lot of football players. The one thing he has that I put on the screen, you put on the screen.
Determination.
He runs every play down. He gets his ass whipped, but he fights back. Wow. I can't believe when I watch this kid play. He's a great player. Now he's playing lacrosse. And they won their first tournament game. It's like they haven't won a tournament game in 10 years. You know, in any sport.
Yep.
In 10 years. And they win this game, and they're going against a great team now. I don't think they're going to win it. Well, my son Randy doesn't think they're going to win, but I hope they do. I can't make it, though.
There you go.
But anyway.
My dad brings family.
And with the quarterback, right? The quarterback, that's my daughter Jenny's.
Bryce.
Yeah.
Bryce got to get in the weight room.
Yeah, he's in the weight room. He's just coming home. I talked to him. He called me to wish me a happy birthday, and I said, "Where are you at?" He said, "I'm just coming out of the weight room." And I said, "How'd you make off the States?" He said, "Well, I didn't place in the States. He's 100 meters and 220, 200 meters, and you know, as long as he's doing okay, that's all. But he's got an arm and he's accurate. He can throw and he's accurate."
Breaking down the Atoshan family tonight.
Yeah. Just that's what I'm excited about. I mean, every weekend I got to go to a game. I got to alternate them. You know?
Well, we're gonna see.
We have the draft Dr. Phil draft analysis.
I know I'm short, right? That was it. Well, Dad, I don't want to keep you. I just wanted to bring you on. The fans wanted to wish.
I appreciate it.
Cherie wanted
your
to.
night too.
Did you
say
hi to Cherie?
Settle down. It's going to happen. Settle down.
He's telling the fans.
The same boat, so don't fight each other. You know,
Coach, we have a special video for you sent in from Angelo Joe Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut, that he wants you to.
He wants you to listen to his speech.
This is for you, Coach. Angelo.
There he is.
Good job, Angelo.
Yes, Angelo. A speech from Angelo, right? I go, my dad will love every minute of that speech.
Yeah, it was good.
It was
what
good.
The American people think that's what it should be. We have such a great country, and too many people are trying to change it. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, not Angelo or you. With you,
let's get Angelo to the Patriots Bears game.
We gotta try. Yeah, we're gonna bring him.
Sure.
He's gonna have to leave right now. He's gonna have to ride his mini bike.
Jim, you have to get.
I'll be right there, Jim. You hold my seat.
He's driving around. George is on a scooter. Angelo's chasing him. Oh my God. I would die. Anyway, Dad, I love you. I appreciate you jumping on tonight.
So nice to see all of you together and just your fans and to watch you. They just don't fight each other. Just like Angelo said, let's get along. I'm going to tell you, shit in your hat and get the hell off the field.
You tell him, Coach.
Yes. They don't. If you're gonna fight, shit in your hat, get the hell off the field.
That's
there
right.
You go. There you go.
Right,
I love you, Dad. Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Love you, Coach.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Now he acknowledged you, Cherie. My God. My dad. She can't hear me. He is
in
deaf.
Space.
He's in space, Jim.
Yeah.
We had to clear space for you, bud. Finally, we got him on the show.
This is the low of the NFL season. You have Jim Larrison on your show.
No, there's no one better than you, Jim. Tonight, we wanted to talk about the stadium and no one better in business than you, in my opinion. I don't give a fuck what Aldo had to say. I think Jim knows a thing or two about business.
Should we bring up the Aldo conversations or not?
I think he's lying. He's not a millionaire.
Those were negotiations. He had to bring his wife on the phone. Or we had calls with his wife, and it went on for months and months and months. I was actually trying to get a deal done. This wasn't a, set up Phil and Shane.
That was our intention, right? Was to stay there. Yeah.
I was working. I spent a ton of time doing the analysis on how much viewership was coming to them from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a whole document you guys saw. I wrote a contract up. We had multiple calls, and it just kept going the opposite direction. It was every negotiation I've been on, business negotiation, has gone the opposite direction. Like, I've sold my business for billions of dollars, right? Like, this is the opposite of that. Like, every time we got on the call, it was like, oh, we're going to give you, instead of 20%, we can give you 17%. And then we're going to give you 15%. And it was just weird, and I always liked the guy, but there was something weird going on. And I don't know if it was his wife involved or just jealousy. I hope he does well. Like, the guy's a nice guy as far as I'm concerned. He did some dirty things like deleting videos, all that kind of stuff. But he just wasn't authentic. The stuff that he told you guys was different than where he came to us when we negotiated the deal. And it just wasn't, me, I'm very honest, right?
Yeah, you took our best interest at heart. And that's why we had you there.
Yeah. And it just didn't work out. And you guys are better off for it, which is good. And
that's why you're here tonight.
Yeah. So
because of you.
I don't want to say anything bad about anyone except for Sweaty Teddy and Greg Brax. That's it.
Oh my God, Greg, droning on and on. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Jim looks like you've lost weight, bro. You've been training, you've been working out.
Looking good, Jim.
I've lost 40 pounds.
Wow.
I've, I'm hiking, walking, eating well. My wife says she said for a while I look younger. Now she's like, you look really old because I've lost too much weight now. But
we got to get you back to New Haven now.
We got to bring you back to modern.
Yeah, exactly. Things are good though. Things are going well.
You look great. First thing I noticed when you were in the green room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you on the carnivore diet, Jim?
No diet, just working out, hiking. I did do Cary. When I saw Cary, we went to the Green Bay game. I got to 243, I think was my highest weight.
Oh.
Now I'm at 190.
Wow.
So when I saw Cary, I was at 240. And Cary had this salt block, this little salt rock thing.
Yeah.
And he kept licking it. I'm like, what are you doing with that salt thing? He's like, I lick this. It takes the cravings away for sweets, which is always my problem. I wanted some sort of candy or sweets or whatever. Right. So I ordered this salt thing and it works. It like takes away all your, the Cary Franklin way, basically.
The Cary Franklin way.
Shout out to Jose Torres. I love that guy. He's gone through some tough times, and I love him. We went to a game together. He's such a good guy. All prayers out to his family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he had unfortunately lost his son a few weeks back, and we had a big statement here. But again, sending positive energy towards Jose and his wife and his children for the loss of Jose Jr. So thinking of you, Jose, your boy, Jim Larrison, shouting you out tonight. Here, TTNL After Dark. Shane.
Yeah, Cary was amazing. Cary got us to the Green Bay game with my son. We were watching the game. Of course, Cary's like making friends with all the Green Bay fans.
Yeah, he's stepping across the line, Cary. Don't
best
listen to
thing,
my dad. My
by
dad
the way,
rates your fans, Carrie, not the.
when we were we went to that Tampa game, right?
Yep.
And that was when
Me and
Trubisky
Jim.
threw 5 touchdowns or some crazy thing, right? And at the time, 2 things stood out. One was Phil said, "This coach has no clue what he's doing."
Yeah.
And I'm like, how could he know this? The guy's like, they're playing well and, everything's going good. And he's like, look at what he's doing with Jordan Howard. He's sitting him like he doesn't know what he's doing. He has no consistency. I'm like, Phil, you don't have a clue. Well, obviously he has a clue. And then we're at a bar afterwards and we're sitting there and this young woman with her kid walks by and she has a Green Bay sweatshirt on. And he looks over at her and he goes, have some respect. And he's like, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's nuts. But that's why I love the guy. So
Remember the dude on the street that was like 20 times my size? I'm like, you're in Chicago. Take that shit off. Jim's like, it was like 5 below.
Oh my God.
He's wearing a Packers hoodie. Cherie. Oh,
the worst.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. The worst is losing to the Packers and the Bears fans walk out saying Green Bay sucks in the tunnel area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, guys, shut the fuck up. We just
all the
lost.
time.
Yeah.
The other thing was our section. Well, every section in the Soldier Field, there's no one stands up at Phil is in our 306. We're in 306.
306, baby.
Really good. We have these seats. We got through the Chicago Tribune bankruptcy auction. So we got these great seats. They're high up.
All 22 angle. It's perfect.
Yeah, they're perfect seats and they're covered because the suites are right above
that there too.
And Phil's sitting up there and 3rd down every time. He's like, get the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And finally everyone starts standing up. And so now I think our section's the only one that stands up. They're down now.
TTNL effect, Jim.
It is, yeah.
TTNL effect.
I remember you telling me about that. You're like, dude,
I couldn't believe it.
Even at like the Syracuse game, every 3rd down, every Syracuse fan in the dome stands up and people start going crazy. And I mean, Syracuse sucks at football, has for a long time, but they're involved, they're doing it. But I remember Phil calling, he's like, dude, they're down. These motherfuckers are just sitting there and they're like, will you sit down and stop being so loud cheering for your team? It feels like, what the
there was this one dude about? Everybody started getting up after Jim's point because I was like, get up, it's 3rd down. What the fuck is going? And people in front of us, they started getting up. And then there was just this one dude, heavier dude. He did not want to get up.
No.
And I'm like, you get up. He knew I was talking about it.
You said, hey, Newman, get up.
Hey, Newman. That was it.
Hello, Jerry.
But I wonder, is that a NFL fan thing that doesn't really know any better? Because I've gone to a lot of different stadiums and I noticed that even like the local fans won't, especially like here in Washington, they don't stand up and cheer and get like they're loud when the team is on, offense. And I'm like, y'all supposed to be quiet so they can hear.
Well, they don't know. The problem is the teams have not won, so they don't know. Right? The teams that have won, they know what to do, right?
Exactly.
I think the Bears fans are, and the Green Bay first game this year at home, the fans were as loud as I've heard them since the double doink game. And for the first half. And then it was like silent, right? Like, I think they just get so tuned out, they get disenfranchised, they don't know what to do. They just like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and watch a show, right? And it goes back to the best feeling I ever had, and it goes back to being a season ticket holder. I was sitting in a game with my kids, they're younger kids at the time. It was probably 2013, 2014, and Jennings gets a pick six, and it's so loud in that place. and you feel it in your bones.
Mm-hmm.
And I have friends that are like, TV is so much better for NFL. You can see everything, whatever. You can never feel that experience anywhere except for at a game. And the only time that's like that was the old Chicago Stadium with the Bulls, when you could go to see the Bulls.
Yeah, pre-United Center.
Pre-United Center. It was so loud in that place. You could feel it in your bones when Jordan would hit the shot, right? Like that, when Jennings got that pick six, you could feel it. And that feeling you can't get anywhere else. And so I'm hoping this year we'll get that. And though I bet on the under, I do think the Bears are on the right track. I just think there's a rookie season. It's going to take some time.
That's where you're betting your money.
And I think that's the trap that a lot of people are falling into overall, is that they're not looking beyond 2024 at all. It's
right.
If they don't make the playoffs and win a game, it's over. It's a disaster. This plan, drafting Caleb Williams, wasn't just for now. It's for the next 12 to 15 years.
Exactly.
So, right. And we're in this fantasy football world now. Everything's got to be instantaneous.
Yep.
Reels, everything's short, video, everything's got to be quick. They're cutting words down. Sussy, Rizzler, skibbity this, all this shit.
I hope the pressure, which I don't think is going to happen, but I appreciate your point, Shane, on Eberflus, because I think he gets a lot of bad press, but I think he's done a good job of keeping the team together. He's a first-time head coach. As far as I can tell, he's done a good job of traversing a very difficult situation.
Yeah.
In the business world, that's a hard thing to do. And he's done that. And so I hope he's successful, right? And, the worst thing that could happen is he's not. And then we have a new coach, and then it's a whole new thing, right? Now we're rehashing new coach, all that stuff. We want him to succeed.
Right. Want him to
100%. Yeah. And
I want him to succeed, but he is the sussy of this.
Oh,
season.
Absolutely. But it's warranted. I mean, he's got a lot to prove. We've talked about his, in game situationally, he's been poor at best. But looking back at him last year, he never seemed comfortable. It always seemed to me like he knew that Justin really wasn't the guy, and he wasn't comfortable in that scenario of being like, I'm out here essentially lying to my team and to this kid because I know
and he's not
the guy.
To the OC, we find out later. Right. There's problems there.
You could see it about game 14 last year where you saw a pivot where he started to bark back a little bit at like Jason Leisure in pressers. He became a little bit more comfortable in his skin. Now he's got the makeover. I mean,
Funk's hooking him up with his face. Funk's gonna come back on the show.
You heard him. I believe it was Herb Howard asked him about. He said there was a little dust up, and he's like, "Oh, you call a fight a dust up?" He put it right back into him, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "My father always used to tell me it's all words and no action, and that's all that happened today." He wouldn't have said that last year.
That's awesome.
He would have just it happened and yada yada and moved on. But everybody's got to grow. You're not coming right in. It's not you're not hiring Jim Harbaugh that's got some pelts on the wall and been there, done that. And listen, this is year 3 for him. And the radar is on him. It's on Ryan Poles and it's on Caleb Williams. And that's where we want it.
Advisable, $1.99 on the super chat. Been a while. Glad to be back. TTNL, the best ever. Thank you, advisable. But to your point on the coach and the GM has been growing as well. So the GM has done something, whether people are going to diss him or whatever. And I've had my moments, never really. I'm giving this guy the benefit. I've never said he's terrible or whatever, like some people. Like, let's see where he goes with this. The moment for me was when he let Chase Claypool go and cut him. That's putting football first. That would never happen with Ted Phillips. It would never happen under Jerry Angelo and company.
He would
Ryan
still
Pace.
be here.
He would still be here.
We invested a second rounder in this guy, and we gotta ride it until the wheels fall off.
Maybe he'll give us a couple games and we can lay on the sword of, well, we got a couple. No, he owned your mistake. Freaking traded. I'm sorry, Peter King. Wake up, in your retirement. He controlled both drafts, and watching 1920 and listening to Ryan Poles with Adam Schefter, Jim, Ryan Poles had Caleb 1 and Rome Odunze 2 in the draft. He was able to get his 1 and 2 players in the draft at 1 and 9. So, I mean, I said you got to get out of the draft with the punter on night 2. He said the same thing. He then traded back into the draft and got Booker, a pass rusher. So he landed every punch that was thrown, and he knocked it out of the park, in my opinion.
What's interesting, Jim, with your, business acumen, when you watch 1920 Football Drive, the latest one, when you see that, when you see the front office, when you look at it from a business aspect, like what do you see? Because to me, it looked like everybody was extremely prepared. There was a contingency plan. Nobody looked flustered. Nobody looked nervous. Everything looked under control and prepared. Do you look at it through that lens at all?
Yeah, I was telling Phil, I think the credit to George and the McCaskies, Pat was there, I think.
Pat was, because they specifically singled him out in the beginning, and they said, thank you, Pat, essentially for giving them the money and the wherewithal to make all the moves that they made.
Yeah. And I don't think it was a slight. I think it was more calling out Pat was there. I think Warren and McCaskey have come up with a plan to remove him from the operations. And I think it's probably as much, my experience tells me it's as much George wanting to remove himself as it is Kevin wanting to run the show, right? And, you cannot just come in as a president and just take over without the leader saying, I'm going to extract myself from the day-to-day.
Yeah.
They were clearly very involved with Ted. And we saw that. We went on a trip, right? We saw both ends of it. We saw Ted was, he was very in the details. He called me and Phil interns. We came on the bus.
That story.
He looked at us like we were some sort of like, what are you doing here? We sat down. We had sport coats, like, we're business people. We had like our name tags or whatever. He looks at us like what are you doing here? And then we sit down. Total dickhead, by the way. And then George comes on, nice guy. Hey, Phil, nice to meet you. Hey, Jim, nice to meet you. Hey, Don, Rebecca, thank you so much for your donation. We give $100,000 to the Bears Cares, right? Like, you should at least shake someone's hand.
Damn right, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Ted looks over, he's like, oh, I thought these were the new interns. Oh, it's nice to meet you. What's your name, Phil? The guy's a total asshole. And I know stories about this guy. I can't say on the air, but this guy is just should be gone, right? He should have been gone a long time ago. The stories in a business world, this guy would never exist today, even in a private company. Like you ever seen sexual harassment training? Like he should be the poster child for sexual harassment training.
Right.
He married his secretary, right?
Right. He had an affair.
Yeah.
On his first wife, married the secretary who he had the affair with.
Yeah. and it's just
and
like
did it again with another secretary.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot more stories to that, but
There's
I'm not going to share those. But the guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's good at running the books. He's good at running the financings. That's fine. But to George's credit, he removed himself and said, I'm going to let you guys run this, which I think he tried to do a long time ago. He just didn't know how to do it. And he said, I'm going to let you guys run this thing. And he hired the right people to do it finally. And now he's out. Now he's he's like umping baseball games, basically, which is he drives an hour and a half to work and back every day. Fine, do whatever you want. He should sell the team, by the way. But I think when you look at that video, it's clear it's a new business operation that's constrained by the owners still financially, but they're operating differently. It's clear, right? I mean, Pace was incompetent, but even within the constraints he lived in, he had limitations, right? And it's clear that Warren has unleashed some of that stuff.
Do you think, Jim, they are any closer to potentially moving on from the franchise and selling it? I know with like the inheritance tax and all of that, there was some talk, but do you think that
my worry is, the NFL could force them to sell, because if once Virginia dies, and I still think she's dead already, but if
Weekend at Bernie's script written
wrapped up.
Once she dies, there's a clause in the NFL bylaws that says you cannot, that 50% of the team has to be owned by one owner. And when she dies, it actually gets split off across 18 people, including 2 outsiders, but 18 people are mostly family.
And that would be Ryan, would be one of the outsiders.
But it's a group. There's a whole group of people.
Oh, there is.
That have ownership that's material, right? There's a bunch that have a small share.
This isn't Packer fans ownership we're talking
Well,
about.
that's the exception. So there is an exception, and the NFL can make an exception for the charter franchise and say that because this is a charter franchise, we're going to make an exception for this franchise that they can have multiple owners. I think it's a bad decision. I think Goodell probably, if you got him on a truth detector, he would say it's a bad choice. But, I think he's forced into the situation where you have this story of a family that their only asset is this business. They don't have any assets. The family members come every month, want their check, right? They get paid. They go along on the trip. It's like, it literally like going on a picnic. We go on a trip with they got their blankets. They're all,
one lady with the fucking crochet. Just crocheting on the. Marge is like, this is a business trip, Donald.
It's no business trip. It's a family vacation. It's like Vacation, the Chevy Chase movie. They're all getting on the bus. We're on the bus with them. They're all getting on there. There's like 100 of them. They're all getting on, the grandchildren, all that stuff. And I think Goodell's in a bad spot because it's a charter franchise. He can't force them to sell. They should sell. It's going to make $6 billion. It's going to give them multiple generation wealth for their family, which doesn't have family wealth otherwise. They have zero wealth otherwise. Sell everything. Sell it to someone that has billions of dollars, which there's plenty of those people out there that can also, by the way, run a stadium for $6 billion. And that's a rounding error for these guys, and these guys go off and pay their grandchildren and all that good stuff. And why wouldn't you do that if you're them? And I get why. When I met George, I get why. George really cares about the Bears. He's passionate about it. By the way, it's not in his bloodline. He's married into the family, right? Like he's basically, I argue it's like 1/8 of his bloodline. But sell the team. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I was going to buy a billboard, sell the team, and I'm going to still do that if this doesn't work out. But they have to sell the team. There's a billionaire out there that will buy it in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Jordan's one of them, right? There's plenty of these SPACs out there, which are a consolidation of investors that will come in and buy. They tried to buy the Mets through a SPAC and the Yankees. There's a bunch of these.
What's that?
It's a speculation. It's what Trump did to fund the Trump media.
Oh,
it's
really?
a way to raise money. You go and raise money on the idea that you're going to go take this money and invest it in something. And so the Trump media did this. These guys went out and said, we're going to go out and raise $1 billion to start a business. And they got a bunch of investors. They put money in. And then they went out to Trump and said, we're going to start this Trump media. He said, okay. And they put a bunch of money in. So a SPAC is basically a speculation way to start a public company without any real business behind it. So that's how they're trying to fund these consolidations of buying sports franchises now with a group of people. RG3 tried to do it in Washington. There's a bunch
of what they did with Magic Johnson and them, or no?
That's involved. So I actually met Jay-Z.
Really?
He's involved in a SPAC, and he was trying to invest in our company. So I met with Jay-Z.
Really?
And he's one of the SPAC guys. Like, he's put money into these kind of companies.
Can you sell him a piece of your company and say, listen, I need you to do a track for TTNL?
Well, that's the next company. This company now is too big to do that, but the next company will do that.
Okay. This guy's hanging out with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Was Beyonce
buy a new suit and everything for it?
Yeah. She's like, you can't look like that with Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Shay, did you know I'm in a book club with Shane and Phil?
And Chris Zorich.
Chris Zorich, yeah. That's hilarious.
No, I think the reality is the only way. My worry with the Bears really is they're limited by this ownership ability to really invest, right? And
do you think that Goodell is actually hamstrung, or can he just say, listen, the rules are the rules?
He's hamstrung. I mean, it's a charter franchise. Like, there's too much. Look how long it took for them to get on the Hard Knocks, right? Like, he just has too much riding on the Bears being the Bears. You know, he can't play hardball. This isn't the Jaguars, right? Like, he could do that with the Jaguars. He can't do it with the Bears. And, I would give him a lot of kudos if he did, but
I guess my question then is, they get out of the rule. Does the family then sit down together and say, hey, because I can only imagine that you said 18, I'll say 10 of them are like, we need to sell this fucking thing. And
they'll have a board of directors, and they'll have voting rights, and it'll be a corporation. So they'll be run like a business, which it is today. The majority control will be George and Pat and some of the people that run it today. I just don't think there's any interest by the majority holders to do anything beyond run it.
They want to keep it.
Isn't there something that if they do come up for sale, doesn't Pat Ryan have like the right of first refusal?
He does. Yeah. Pat Ryan, he's like 90 years old.
Yeah.
The guy's not going to buy, but he has first rights to any shares that come available. I don't think he has the assets to buy it, though. He's got a lot of money. He's billions of dollars, but it takes more than $6 billion to buy this thing.
What does he own? What does he do, Pat Ryan?
Because he's real estate
stadium, right? In Northwestern.
Yeah, everything there is Northwestern. Pat Ryan, field and everything.
Yeah, he's a big real estate. He's founded a company. He's got tons of money. But he's not a Mark Cuban. Like, he's got money, but he's not that level.
He's
where
old money, or he's
old money,
set in his way. He's set in his way type of thing.
Ryan Field in Northwestern Ryan Field, they're redoing the field.
I saw that right on the water.
They're making it smaller. I grew up in Evanston. It used to be called Dyke Stadium. We used to go. They used to say the seats were because it was Dyke Stadium. The seats were shaped like tongues. Was the joke because it was Dyke Stadium. We went to a game against Michigan with the Northwestern Wildcats. The Wildcats, right?
Yeah.
It was national television. We didn't walk in. They didn't take a ticket back then because they wouldn't win a game, right? And we were in a section on the 50-yard line where there was probably like 30 people and there was no one else. And my buddies are like, you kept getting on TV because there was no one else. They just showed us. And we used to go to every game, but they would just let you in. It reminded me of the Bears in probably the sort of mid 90s. We'd go to games and we could just walk into the game and they wouldn't even take our tickets.
It's like, go ahead, man. We need to fill up these seats. It was like the what are those people at the award shows that are
filling? Seat fillers.
Seat fillers.
Which we could be like Don that went on the trip with us.
Don Fields.
Justin's long lost cousin, according to him, won tickets to the ESPYs. But he didn't really. He won tickets to the ESPYs golf tournament, and he's never golfed. So he's.
Did you get approval from Don? Can we do what we talked about, or we got to wait till next
week? He's still working with Marge on what
it could be.
Marge made an appearance on the show. What was it, last week when I pulled her picture?
Put Marge is an Easter egg in Jim's intro video.
You have to get Marge on the show.
Yeah.
Do you think she'd ever do the show?
Yeah.
Not until she leaves the. You know the Bear. You were there.
Remember,
Marge, you're worried with Phil. You wait till fucking Shane gets there.
Exactly.
The two things
this guy.
I think the two things that Phil said that everyone has to know. One is Ian Cunningham came up to us and said the tape never lies, like out of nowhere, right? Like this guy, greatest guy ever. I saw him at the Bears Care Gala. He high-fived me. Greatest guy. He knew exactly who Phil was.
Right.
100%. Right. There's no question that he watches the show. Right.
Right.
He knew everything about the show. And and then Don he had more than a backpack. He had multiple suitcases.
I didn't see the multiple. I remember the Army one. It was like a knapsack, but it was like as long as fuck. And
he had
all balls
suitcases filled with footballs and helmets and jerseys. And
see, I missed that part because I had to use the bathroom. So I remember you coming back, and I'm coming back in. And this is before we even knew them. And Jim is always a straight shooter, always seeing the positive on everything. So when I came back into this room with the soccer game and all that, I see Jim snickering, like giggling like this. And then I get the knowledge of, we're waiting because they had to call their driver back.
Yeah.
The Bears wouldn't let him bring these bags that he had of footballs. That's how they kept it. But apparently there was jerseys. I love Don. We got to get Don on the show, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You could tell the backstory of the Civil War, Fields versus Ham.
He's amazing, that guy.
I love him, man.
So we're going to him and I are going to golf in a pro-am with Justin Jefferson. No, Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. That's another wealthy young man.
Yeah, wealthy young man. And I golfed last in high school, and he's never golfed in his life. And we're going to be on TV, I think. And
you have to wear a TTNL like polo shirt.
Yeah.
Don's golf cart's going to be towing a trailer full of footballs and
exactly. Yeah, because it's the ESPY, so there'll be tons of like Mahomes will be there, like all the big players will be there. He's like, "Hey Jim, we're gonna do this. Play golf. I never played golf before. Is it a hard game to play?" I'm like, "Yes, it's very hard to play." So he paid for this donation to play in a tournament and do a poker tournament. And we're going to LA first class. We're doing this whole thing.
Wow.
And, we're going to figure out if we can do some sort of raffle thing for people on TTNL to join us. We're trying to see if that works or not.
That's what we're trying to negotiate.
You got to get the TTNL golf polos ready.
Yeah. Alex had made me one. It's just a schmedium. And I'm like, I can't fit into a schmedium.
Jim will take a schmedium now.
You might be able to fit it, Jim, actually. I'm sending it to you, Jim. I am. I'm serious. It's brand new. It still has the I'm sending it to you tomorrow. The TTNL Polo is coming to Jim Larrison.
But let's get into this, Jim. You're talking about ownership and assets, and that they beyond the Bears, they really have nothing. But how do you see this all going in terms of the stadium and future ownership for the McCaskies?
Yeah, I think the tough thing with the stadium is they really are looking for, and they won't say this, it's opaque, but they're basically looking for outside funding, not private funding, but public funding through federal and state and local investments of probably somewhere around $2.5 billion, right? And if you look at comps, you look at Nashville. Nashville did public funding. So there is still public funding out there. They had somewhere around $1.2 billion in public funding. They've never done it before. So it's in Nashville is the fastest growing MSA in the world, right? So they have more people moving to Nashville every day than move to the top 20 cities in a month. It's the fastest growing place in the United States by far. So they are sort of able to leverage that growth. The problem is the Bears are trying to tap into a couple of things that won't work. One is they're going to say, we're going to put $2 billion into this where we want you to pay $5 billion. It's 4.7, but it's really 5. It's the most expensive stadium ever. SoFi was close to 5, but this is going to be more than that. They're asking for the state and the federal government to pitch in $1 billion. And by the way, if Trump wins, that there's zero chance of that happening. If Biden wins, maybe it happens, but very low chance. And we raised $480 million for Soldier Field, right? For the bonds. We owe $620 million now, 20 years later. The city is not fiscally responsible. If we go and raise another $20 billion, we're talking about like 20 years from now, we're going to owe $3 to $4 billion. And the city is the highest taxed hotel rate in the world. We have a 27% hotel tax.
Wow.
New York City has a 15% hotel tax. Boston, 12%, Cleveland, 10%. We're talking about adding another 5% on that. Like, it's not going to work. And they looked at the last 150 publicly funded stadiums over 40 years. And the number that have paid back the actual initial investment is 0.
Yeah.
Right. It's a bad investment. I don't blame Warren for this. Warren's in a bad situation because he's stuck with these guys that don't have the money. I get why they're asking for the money. First of all, what they're asking for, so everyone understands, give us the land, right? It's not even like we're going to buy the land. They bought They bought land in Arlington Heights for $200 million. We're going to throw that out. We'll sell it, right? Give us the land. We're going to invest $2 billion in private money, which $1 billion of it's going to come from public bonds. So it's not really private money. It's public bonds that they're going to use to raise the private money. And the other $1 billion is going to come through other sources. Part of it, the NFL actually has a fund they set aside for teams that want to build new stadiums. So they're going to pull all that money in. And then the next side of it is, let's put another $3 billion of public money into this. And it just doesn't make sense. The two things that don't make sense is, first of all, we haven't paid off Soldier Field, number one. We're paying more on it. Number two, well, three things don't make sense. Number two is it's so much money that we would never pay it off in the lifetime of us and our kids. And the third thing is, if 66,000, 67,000 people can go to any game, you're effectively saying that it's about $100,000 per person that goes to the game to pay for this thing, right? It's not helping everyone in the town. It's helping those few people. And I go to every game. It's helping me. It's not helping most of the people.
That's the crazy part about that. When you look at the stadium, it also included, obviously, the road redirection, and that they're including another $3 billion.
Well, it's $3.2 billion for the stadium.
Okay.
And then it's 1.5, 1.4, 1.5 for the infrastructure, which is the surrounding area.
Right.
Didn't it look like they're building, like they're doing Dubai, and they're building more land out into the lake? They're putting another area.
I think that's marketing, right? They're trying to make it look good for the voters. By the way, Kansas City had a referendum, right? You saw this, right? Where
I didn't see
Super Bowl champion, and it's also the Royals, to extend an existing sales tax to increase the investment in the Chiefs Stadium. It failed 58%, right, by the voters. This will never pass. And it's not Kevin Warren's fault. Kevin Warren is trying to do what he can within the constraints of a limited group that can invest. And anyone that saw Dynasty, the Apple TV, I strongly suggest
the New England Patriots, not the show Dynasty.
Or Dallas or any of those.
What number is that on his list?
4428. I just looked it up.
So read the book Dynasty. Jeff Burkett, I think, is the author. He writes for the Boston Globe. It's a much better book than show. And they spend about a quarter of the book talking about the stadium. The stadium's how Kraft actually got to buy the Patriots, because he bought the stadium, right? And because the Michael Jackson's tour failed, the ownership group that owned the stadium went bankrupt, and he was able to buy the stadium. And they went to the Patriots and said, I got you on a 40-year lease. I'm going to hold you to this lease unless you sell me the team. And he was able to buy the team, and now he owns the stadium and team. And that's where all his money comes from, the stadium, not the team. And that's what they need to do, right? Like, they need to sell the team. Someone needs to look at Wrigley Field. Like, this is amazing what they've done. The other problem, by the way, that the Bears have is the Sox have asked for $2 billion from the state to build a new stadium, right? This is crazy. The new tax that passed in Illinois, $300 million is going to education. $400 million is going to this border crisis. We have all these people coming to Chicago. We have to figure out what to do with them all. There's another $300 million going to, Jeff Benedict, great book. $300 million is going to healthcare. Think about that. That's $1 billion+ that's going to help everyone that lives in Chicago. How much is that? $2 billion, $2.7 billion, helping the 67,000 people that go to the Bears game. And that's why I think it's just a bad idea.
So from there, they buy this land, which to me is the most brilliant thing I thought they were doing, is building Bears land.
Yeah.
Up in the heart of the suburbs of Illinois and Arlington Heights. So you $290-something million they buy the land for, right?
197 million. They buy the land. They start to tear it down. They tore down everything. They tore down the racetrack, the dorms, everything. Right. And people started buying up property around there. Investors did. I looked at an investment to buy a bunch of businesses around there because everyone thought this was going to be a huge business.
Yep.
And they get into a dispute with the city of Arlington Heights, which you know well, right? Like you visited there. You ran the hill, isn't that?
Ran Peyton's Hill.
You went and visited Aldo, who lives there.
Yeah.
They're arguing over, $100 million in taxes, which I get. That's $100 million, but compared to $5 billion, it's not that much, right? Like I get it's $100 million in taxes they're arguing about. But come to a consensus, 50 million. Let's pay 50 million to 100 million. Like they would work out a deal. And some of these other cities have said, we'll work out a deal with you. We'll give you. There's other cities that have said, we'll pay the tax. I think some of it's, just trying to get them over there. But I think their best bet is to do what Ricketts did in Wrigley, is build the casino and a hotel and all that stuff. And that's a business that's going to generate revenue, instead of saying, like, give us some money, city. We want free rent. And by the way, the 8 games a year we play, we're not going to pay rent or any of that stuff. And we want revenue from the other times that things come through this. And we want the land for free. And we want you to maintain the space. And we want you to do all this stuff that's hard to do. That's the problem. And just a one-sided pitch.
So what situation do you think is least likely in the city?
I think it's a good question. I think the city is right now, given the current proposal, is 0%
non-starter, right? That's what that's
I think
their
they
word.
could come back with, if I was advising them, I'd say you come back with, we're going to pay $3.5 billion, and you guys put up $1.2 billion, and we're going to split the revenue. And I think you might get something there. But again, it's like Cars was saying, the Friends of the Park are against this. Like the people that actually control the space are against it. And that's where the political the mayor is for it, because I think, in my opinion, the mayor has gotten some side money, right? Like the fact that the mayor already is for this thing is suspect, right? Like there's
sussy.
It is sussy. Right?
There you go.
He seems like he's a smart guy. He has some weird ideas, but the fact that he's already like all in is just, seems weird to me. The idea, sell the team, man. I mean, it's an easy answer.
Let me ask you this, putting this together. I mean, to me, it sounds like Arlington Heights is the layup.
Yeah.
Even with the 100 million versus the 5 billion.
But for that to be functional and for everything that you want, the price, that's going to be a lot higher, correct?
How much more is it going to be cost? Yeah. How much more would it cost to building Arlington Heights?
Because, a lot less, because you Chicago, you have a union thing, right? Unions,
but it's everything else around it that you're going to need also.
And you got the land, you got all the cost of infrastructure around it. So take the whole 1.7 billion infrastructure and throw that out. It's gone.
Yep.
You're starting with new land. So you're talking about maybe, like, look at Nashville. Nashville is probably about $2 billion to build their stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's fresh land. So maybe $2.5 billion, because you're in Chicago area, instead of $5 billion. I think that's what you're talking about here. And I know everyone, by the way, I know everyone, and including me, is like, why don't you do a retractable dome and all this stuff? I've looked into it, and I talked to George McCaskey on the bus.
Remember, he downed that right away.
There's 10 stadiums that have domes. There's 5 that retractable. It adds like hundreds of millions of dollars in cost. So I get why they don't want to do it. If you're talking about 5 billion, if you're talking about 5 billion adding 100 million, big deal. If you're talking about 2 billion adding 100 million, maybe it's a bigger deal. I like the retractable dome. I would do it myself, but again, if it's like 1 or 200 million, maybe not. Especially if it's funded by private money. Look at what Elon Musk did to buy Twitter. That's all private money. It wasn't him. He went out and got money from a bunch of people, including myself. He went out and asked people to put money in. It's not all his money, right? He acts like he owns it. He's got a bunch of money from other people. And that's what the McCaskies do not do well, is go out and figure out how to raise money from other investors.
Well, they have that snobby, this is our thing, and I believe they had Ted involved in it, but I just felt like it was small-minded, and they loved the story of it's a family and this is what they are. So
they've done a good job of keeping
Jay-Z ain't getting in a meeting with George.
Yeah.
Maybe now with Kevin there, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
I know Oprah, like you said, Oprah for years wanted to get involved with the fucking Bears.
Oprah, Jordan, like you can go through a long list of people.
Yeah, like way back. This was before Walter even died. There was a rumor around way back then that there was a group
Walter
with Jordan,
with
Jordan,
Rams.
Oprah, and Walter Payton was involved at one point, but
they're not open to it. That's the problem. And I think until something dramatic changes, I don't think it's gonna. I think they're just in a set, like a mindset. They're in a tunnel vision, right? And they're just not thinking about it. It's totally out of the.
Yeah, like it's a non-starter for the city. It's a non-starter for them to. Yeah, it's not something that's even
saying that the Arlington Heights board might get back together this week to counter the Bears. I mean, if you're cutting off the infrastructure of whatever it was, 1.7 billion down in Chicago, you're cutting that cost out. You already own this land and you have the rights to build on this. You're fighting over a fucking school tax.
You want, you can cut down on everything, but if they build this, Jim, they have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't just say, oh, we can cut corners here and cut corners here. That's why Soldier Field was, that was they rebuilt that 2002.
2002, right?
Yeah, that's when it started. Right after the
campaign.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's what a tangled web.
Bill Wagner asked you, Jim, do you think the Bears' lack of liquidity plus current interest rates might have them scared about financing in Arlington?
Yeah, I mean, that's an issue for both Arlington and downtown, wherever they are. It's like they have an asset. They don't have a lot of cash flow, right? All their cash flow goes back into the team. They don't have, so everything they raise has to be based on that asset, which limits them. The most they can ever leverage is $6 billion, right? And so I think that, and they're also very, I would say, fiscally minded. Right?
Yeah.
Like which suggests how they hired Ted, and that they've raised on this idea that they have to control their finances. And I think they've done a better job of this, by the way. You look at every year when they sign people to multi-year contracts, they have to lock the money up. Like there's they do a good job with the money, but they also know they have a cap.
Right.
Whereas Jerry Jones doesn't have a cap, right? Like he can spend
He's
whatever
making
money
money off the Cowboys as well as his other business.
Yeah,
Has, right?
or Sam Kroenke or whoever. These guys
Yeah.
have plenty of money to invest beyond what they do in the team, and the Bears are very constrained.
So, Jim, this is kind of it's on topic, but maybe you would have no idea. But so it's the Chicago Bears, obviously a global brand, but new stadium in Arlington, like naming rights. That's got to be a massive thing for them right there, correct?
Yeah. Well, that was a big argument. So Forbes wrote an article about some of the worst run franchises in the United States, and they named the Bears as number one. And one of the things they named was the limitations on their ability to monetize the brand.
Right.
And one of like Soldier Field, I think part of that is they don't have the right to sell the brand name, right? Like they can't say it, United, Soldier Field, Bank of America, Soldier Field, whatever. It's a national landmark right now. But there's very critical. They said at the time, they said the McCaskies are running this team like it's a $1 billion franchise when it's really worth $5 billion, right? That was their point. This is Forbes. This is years ago. But that's a thing, right? There's all these ways to monetize their business that they aren't thinking about, or maybe they are and they're just constrained. They don't know how to figure it out. They need someone, not Ted, running that. And maybe Kevin's that guy, or maybe there's someone else in there they can do that. We know, Phil and I know from going on that trip, they have a lot of people that have been there for years that are old school. I sold my last company to Cox Media, which is the Cox cable company.
Right.
When we sold the company, there's 80,000 employees there. Within 3 or 4 years, it was down to 65,000 employees because they were fired. It's newspaper, TV, radio. They own Valpak, they own Auto Trader, they own Manheim, they own all these huge businesses. Huge private company owned by the Cox family. A lot of the people that run the company are these family members that have been running it for 40 years, right? They don't know today's business. And the reason they bought our business was they're like, how do we jumpstart our business into internet days, like in the tech days, and they didn't know how to do it. They paid for our company was $8 million in revenue. They paid $350 million for it. Like they overpaid for the business, but they were trying to jumpstart it, which I give them credit for, but they didn't know how to do it. The Bears are in the same situation. They've been doing this for same playbook for years and years. They need to clean house and bring in brand new people, just from the top to bottom. Everyone new, that's got a new mindset. And I was talking to one of our execs yesterday, and he's like, I put the people that have been here the longest on the new problems. I take the people that are new on the old problems, right? That's what they have to do.
That's fucking smart right there.
And you can see it, like Marge. I love Marge, great person, but she's constrained. She's like locked down. That you were talking about, they closed the shades. You can't see them practicing, like you can't talk to the players. Like it's just so many constraints.
Film training camp.
Yeah, and by the way, I know a guy that worked for me for many years, worked at the Bears, knows that guy that used to run all their media. And he was
the guy that got fired. What was his name? I said his name the other day to Jim.
He's a Scott something. He's
Scott
a good
Hagel. Scott Hagel.
He's a good guy. I met him, a buddy of mine works at the Bears, worked at the Bears many years. Great guy. Said Scott Hagel, really good guy. He was the guy that was blamed for shutting down like Braggs from videoing. It wasn't him. This was coming from Nagy and McCaskey and Pace and all those guys. He was just the messenger, right? Like he was just doing
not smart.
Yeah. By the way, I got to tell you a Bragg story at some point, but we can do that whenever.
We're gonna get the Bragg story after you finish this point.
So anyway, so I think Scott
it's
Hagel,
coming from up top. Hagel was the fall guy.
He was just the guy executing the plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone's like, "Oh, now that he's gone, everything's going to change." No, it's coming from the top. Maybe Nagy and Poles are gone. Pace
is gone. Yep.
But it still comes from the top. I think some of that control still
This
exists.
is a testament year to that point where obviously Hard Knocks has entered the building. We at TTNL and
but they
at
didn't
the
have
old
they
place,
didn't
we've
have
been
a choice
pining
either.
for it. They had no choice. Now, I
Yeah.
want to address this real quick because George put a super chat in there, $4.99. What's up? Says George. Thank you for the $4.99. What's up? The Bears getting final cut on Hard Knocks. Want to see a narrative unfiltered by the Bears? Only TTNL gives that. It's final cut norm. This is normal NFL tactic here. So it's not, oh, these are the Bears, we're going to give them final. This has happened. The Cowboys, the Jets, so on and so forth. The team has the final cut say.
What a lot of it came down to is them not wanting. They way back in the day, like they'd say, "Phil, coach wants to see you. Bring your playbook."
Yeah,
and they would follow you into the owner, or whomever was breaking the news to you.
Yep.
And a lot of the teams didn't want. They gave pushback to that, and that's the
right. But they always had final say. So if there was something like maybe that would give a competitive advantage to another team, a nugget, you got to take that out where I was correcting him on such and such a protection. Could be that, or it could be something political that they might have fucking said and don't want it to be out there and be on the front page of fucking sports mockeries, aggregation, all the way down to Pat the designer talking about it. They have to find a way to recognize that, give something back to a team. And I get that, but we have Hard Knocks. We've lived for that. We have a great quarterback, a college kid coming into the situation. So Hard Knocks is there. My original point is, if Greg Braggs, Ivan, our guy, Alan Bratcher, Jim Larrison, Kerry Franklin, Jose Torre, whoever goes to training camp and you're being told, give me your phone, you can't film it, and you can't, then we're still in ground zero of stupidity. Because listen, I am a coach. Training camp is not giving away. We're going to be working on fundamentals. We're going to be working on some things. But once those, back in the day, Jim, it was like 28 practices were open to the fucking public. You had double sessions. It was a morning practice.
The Minnesota Vikings live stream the practices for the fans that can't make it there. The Patriots were doing it.
Jim Pouchon.
These are Pouchons. They're a mixture of
this is Tate's guy right there, right?
They're a mixture of
two of them, the twins,
Bichon and a mini poodle, and they just want to sit on your lap all day.
They're awesome.
But I sit on meetings with the CEO of Tesco, and I have two dogs on my lap.
They're hypoallergenic, correct?
Yes, that's the only reason Jennifer allows them in the house.
And they're all named after golf.
Oh, right. So Ace and
guy
Caddy.
That's going to play in the ESPYs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got Ace,
Putter, Ace, Caddy, Bogey, Bunker. My son is driver and stride, right? So it's all golf stuff, but I don't play golf.
He named his whole thing. All we need is a Volkswagen Golf in your driveway. Will be good. It'll be perfect. But I hope they allow fans to film, embrace the energy and the positivity that honestly is stretched all across the globe. to your
Well, I
point,
think it's if Warren, this will be a good sign if Warren, if they allow filming or any sort of media, it is a sign that the power has flipped, right? That Warren, which I think has happened. By the way, I really believe that the power has flipped just from the 1920 view, right? Like the fact that George and Ted were nowhere to be seen. You know, and I pointed out to my son, I'm like, there's no McCaskey. Well, maybe Pat's there, but there's no real McCaskies front and center.
Right.
And
he was literally umpiring a game on day 3. George was for real on day 3.
It was Courtney Cronin, our girl.
Yeah,
amazing job with that report.
There's a story about him where he drives into work. It takes him because he lives in Sandwich, Illinois, which is like an hour and a half drive to work.
There's grinders there.
Yeah, he has to get a grinder. He stops at Jimmy John's on the way.
Sandwich, Illinois.
And the story was that this was on Shannon Sharp's podcast, that on the way to work, he listens to the local sports news.
Yes.
And what they realized, the GM, what Poles and Eberflus realized, and Warren, was they had to listen to the local sports radio as they knew McCaskey was driving to work, because they knew that whatever they said during that hour and a half drive, he would bring up when he got to work and start asking people. And so they had to prepare themselves. So they would listen to the local sports media. This is out there.
There he is. Are those Eric Kramer's old shoulder pads?
I think he should do that full time. That should be his job. Like, that's a great outlet for a retired old man.
He would be awesome if he was allowed to officiate Bears versus Packers. We put him in a. We'll get all the calls. That's where I want McCaskey.
Yeah. He told. So a story I told Phil. So after that, you remember the Saints game where, was it Zach Miller had the catch and he broke his leg, like a fracture? Compound fracture.
Well,
And he
almost severed it. Yeah, the artery.
He almost died.
He almost died. It was a touchdown. That was a touchdown. I guarantee it was a touchdown.
Oh, without a doubt.
They reversed it.
Who was that ref? The fucking stooge.
He's an ass.
He came out with the fucking
Rivera.
Yes. What was his name? Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Gustavo?
It
was it Gustavo?
Al Rivera.
No, it wasn't Gustavo. It was.
Isn't it Al?
He's got a funny fucking name.
Anyway, that
Al
guy.
Riveron.
Yeah, this is Al Riveron.
Al Riveron.
You can see the ball touching the turf right here. No, like, where the fuck's the ball, Al?
What are you talking about? My son called him a tool, and he was
so. After that game, I wrote a letter to the Bears, and I sent it to George McCaskey. And I said, you know, that was a touchdown. It should count as a touchdown in the stats, right? Like there should be an asterisk or something. And within a week, my phone rang, and it was Lake Forest. I pick it up, and it's George McCaskey. He's like, Jim, I got your letter. He's like, I want to call you to let you know I agree with you. He goes, I'm filing a formal complaint with the NFL. I'll send you the letter I sent them. He goes, I have a picture with me and Zach Miller in the hospital room. And he goes, I'm filing a complaint against Al Riveron as a ref. Like the greatest guy ever. Like this guy, I could go out drinking with this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, he just called me out of nowhere. Luckily I picked up the call. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure we like asterisk that, but I'm trying to protest it. He sent me all the emails he sent to the guy. He sent me letters afterwards. Wow. It was amazing. Right. You know, I was just some season ticket holder.
Can you ask him to come on the show with us?
Well, you know, Phil, you know, so we're on the plane.
Right? Go ahead.
And we're walking. So who was the equipment guy, the short equipment guy?
Tony Medlin.
Tony Medlin.
Yeah, Tony Medlin goes by, and Phil and I are on the plane, and Phil goes, "Hey, Tony, how's it going?" And George looks back at Phil and he goes, "No, he can't go on your podcast."
He's not going on your podcast,
Yeah.
Phil.
He knew exactly who Phil was. Right. We get on this thing. He's like,
I'm like, remember at dinner, Marge
Oh, yeah.
got all uncomfortable. And
well, yeah, dinner. We're sitting there having dinner, steak dinner and everything. And of course, Don's ordering the wine and all that stuff. And the McCaskies come through. They're having their family dinner. And they're like, "Hey, guys, hey, Phil, Jim, Don, Rebecca, how's it going?" And Phil goes, "Yeah, we're going to put this on the McCaskey tab." And of course, Rebecca, or what's it?
Marge
freaks out. She's like, "Oh, no, we're not going to do that." And he's like, "Oh, no, put it on our tab. No problem."
She got all nervous at me and George.
She got nervous.
Back and forth. Oh, my God, Marge. I'm like, then Jim smartly's like, "Can we get some Vegas bombs over here for Marge? Get Marge drinking. We'll get Don all the autographs he wants."
Oh yeah, Marge. The best was Marge starts doing drinks. We're doing shots and all that kind of stuff. And Don is like literally trying to. He's calling me. "Oh, David Montgomery's down here." I'm like, "Yeah, Phil knows the guy. He's going to talk to his kids." So he's like, "Oh, whoever's down here." So we go down, and Justin Fields, I saw him. I chased him down. He's like my long lost cousin. And so Marge is like, "Don, we can only do one autograph. Pick one guy."
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, "I'll figure it out." So we're on the sideline. He's like,
Roquan Smith. He wanted.
Yeah. He's like, "Okay, Roquan." So she gets Roquan over. He signs an autograph, takes a picture, all that kind of stuff. The next day, he gets traded to the Ravens. And Don's like, "She knew the whole time."
Don versus Marge on like a boxing card would be great.
Yeah, when Marge left, she looked at me and Rebecca. She's like, "Look at those guys. Watch those guys. Make sure they don't go on the field or something."
She was getting all pissy. Meanwhile, I was just watching, I didn't want any autographs, but somehow Marge was afraid of me.
Yeah.
Don't tell Larry Mayer that.
Larry ignored us. Jeff Joniak, who's met Jim like 7 times.
Jeff was a fine guy.
Doesn't have the decency to say, "Hey, yeah, you do at least something." Got it. But Jim is
he's
so
like
nice
that with most. I mean, he goes on Waddle and Sylvie, and he's like, "All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta prep for whatever the Bears show."
Tom Thayer was really nice.
Tom Thayer was great.
Nice. All the players were nice.
All the players were great. There was no jerks there except Ted.
Yeah, Ted was.
Joniak to me. Listen, I'm good at measuring a person's vibe. We'll just say he was a little stuck up.
He sat right behind you on the plane.
He sat behind me on the plane. He didn't acknowledge us. Tom Thayer is great.
Tom Thayer was good. And as much as you give Justin shit, he was good. He stood up. He's like, "Thank you, sir." Like
Justin was great. Justin Fields, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. That was actually, if he didn't fumble the ball that day, he had a pretty good game that day.
The best was when I went to the halftime.
Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom.
You had to go.
Take a dump. I gotta go, bro. I never leave.
We're in the all-inclusive suite. All food, drink, everything included.
Oh my God,
I gotta take a dump. Eddie Jackson gets a pick.
I was screaming in the bathroom. I'm like, "Let's go!" I was on the toilet. You could see the TV.
Phil's pinching it off. I'm getting back out there. Taking one for the team.
But they didn't show the next play. And Jim's like, fucking, what's his name? Brother. He's gone now. I forget. I think he signed with the Saints. What's his name? The fucking receiver dropped the ball in the end zone. Remember?
Oh, St. Brown.
Oh yeah, he had
Equanimous St. Brown.
Equanimity. There's Ivan. That's not one of Jim's poodles. That was Ivan. The poodle's face right in the camera was perfect. If we could get him to move, be like Don Fields.
They get a side by side.
There they are.
Yeah. Ivan is not hypoallergenic though.
Ivan has been to the Larrison estate when we went down into the wine cellar and what everyone dubbed the mafia room, which is where it's like the cigar room back
then. That was where Alan Bratchard told
no. That was in the library.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying.
Alan told
same night. Cut her off. Go home.
Dion was like great. Dion was great. That was such a blast. Everybody's talking about it. Our guy Kaplan's pissed that he couldn't make it that night, so he's got to go to the next one. Jim.
Oh, Javon Wims. That's a guy that missed the.
No, that was not Javon.
That was in the playoff game against the Saints.
We're talking about the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
That someone put that on my timeline or sent me a DM of that play. They lined Mitch outside at receiver.
Yeah.
They did a toss sweep,
open.
Come back, reverse. Mitch pulls up, throws it deep, wide open. Javon Wims.
Yeah, right.
He dropped that ball.
Basket.
Oh my
God! I think Phil, you were at Mitch's best game ever.
I was.
Tampa,
me and you
touchdowns. Yeah,
at Tampa. Yeah. That's when Shane liked the Mike Brez tweet.
Oh yeah, that's when Aldo. Yeah, he did not like. I was just going through. I'm there. Like,
if that's your line of disloyalty,
I was so fired up that I'm just like, every Bear. Come on, a Bears quarterback throws for 6 touchdowns. I didn't give a fuck who wrote the tweet. I was like, my fucking phone rings. I was like, yeah, bro, he's fucking pissed.
That was honestly a day.
What are you talking about? And he's like, what are you? You're just out there liking this guy's tweet, and I'm like, what? And he goes, you liked one of Mike Brez's tweets, and I'm like, I pick up my phone. I'm like, what? Wanted me to apologize to everybody.
That day,
so odd.
Jim and Greg were breaking bread together.
Yeah.
So can I tell the Greg story?
Yes, that's your transition.
All right, let me tell you this. So Greg, here's the reason. So there's only a few people in the world. My wife makes fun of me because I think there's maybe 2 or 3 people in the world I don't like. Right? There's one guy that was a lacrosse dad with my kids that goes to the Bears games, and she's like, "That's the only guy you don't like." She's like, "I heard of this Greg Braggs guy." It's not that I don't like Greg Braggs. Here's the story why Greg Braggs is a problem. When you guys spun off,
Ree's eyes light up.
Yeah. So when you guys spun off from the old place, the Canadian show, let's call it. I first of all, there was some fundraising event, and I donated like $3 or $4 grand to his fundraising because I was trying
that was our very last show, by the way. There,
I think, So I was donating to his show.
We raised money for kids with cancer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I donated.
He shaved his head.
Was it serious cancer though?
Yeah, it was serious. Kids with serious cancer though, Jim.
That's what I'm gonna say. The irony of that.
Exactly.
I'm not smart.
I always supported the guy. He's a nice guy, right? Like, and after you guys spun off, I texted him a few times. I'm like, Greg, these guys are off on their own. You should join forces. By the way,
this is the first time I'm hearing about.
When I was negotiating with Aldo, I was trying to do a deal where he would get a part of the deal, right? Like that was
Greg. Yes, Greg.
Because I thought he was talented. I always thought he was talented. And I texted him. I'm like, Greg, he had his fans in the stands show or whatever it was.
Yep.
That had no
The
one watched
rags
that
in the
show,
stands, yeah.
right? Like he was a talented guy, but no one would tune into that show. It's stupid. And so he was doing the show. And I'm like, Greg, join these guys. It's you three together would be great, you know? And he's like, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Then a few weeks later, I'm like, Greg, you should really consider it. He's like, no, I'm in this thing with Aldo. I'm going to stay with that. He's like, I don't think it's a long-term thing. I'm just going to do this. And then I'm going to go off and do my own thing. So for months, like he was telling me this shit, and he was obviously full of shit. He had plans. He could have been honest and said, no, I don't want to work with these guys. I'd rather do my own thing or whatever. But he kept sort of being and like leading me on saying, yeah, I don't really want to work with these guys. I'm not going to work with Aldo either. I'm just going to do my own thing. And then he goes and does the CHGO thing, which great for him. He's a very talented guy, right? I think he's very talented. He's just not a loyal guy. And for everything you guys have done for him, he just has not done a great job of reciprocating that give that you've done for him. And I feel like that shows someone's real soul. And that's the reason I can't support the guy, is though I think he's very talented, I just can't support him because of that.
Shane is muted, so I will say this is the first time I've ever heard that you even texted him. For full transparency, as we do this on the show, I never knew you had those backside conversations.
I think Craig's end game was always to do his own thing. I mean, not that he and I talked a couple of times, and I think he just wanted to. I think that was his final destination, to not be connected to us and do his own thing. And you know, it is what it is. I just where we came from, and like I said, I think the ultimate mic drop on all of that, just away from Greg so much, Jim, is like, I actually even forgot about it until you brought it up tonight, is that our end game was to stay. Our plan was to stay.
Yeah.
Where we were.
You guys wanted, you're like, let's make this work. Let's figure out to wait.
And the plan was, I totally forgot too, for us to split it and put Greg and give Greg a piece of what it was that our plan was going through.
Yeah, and that's why I think he just wanted to do his own thing, which is, I mean, he's doing his own thing now, and well, not his own thing, but CHGO, and we're happy where we are. So I think it all worked out the way it was supposed to work out in the end.
It did. I'm glad he's fine, and I'm just giving him shit. Actually, I don't really care, but I like Lady Bear doesn't like him, so I'm gonna not like him as much as she doesn't.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, now Greg will know the truth. I'm sure he'll respond.
6 a.m. tomorrow. Fucking Larrison, you guys didn't defend.
There's no script, Gregory. There's Jim. Honestly, you never told me your thoughts.
Actually, the best experience with Greg, went to the Bears game, and we were in the parking lot in the stadium inside, right? We're going to get the car or whatever. And somehow he finds some guys we didn't know. And he goes off in the corner and he's smoking something. I'm not going to say what. And he comes out, he's got those big blue eyes, but he's got big blue bloodshot eyes coming out, like huge eyes. And he's like, oh, I met these new guys. They're really cool.
That's a true story. We're trying to get out of there, right? To go to some bar. And Greg, we're all like, there's a bunch of us, the Sandlins, with us. There's a bunch of us. All of a sudden, I'm like, where's Greg? And Jim's like, where the fuck is he? Where did he go? And you see this big cloud of smoke coming behind us.
Do you remember
Do
you remember at the old network when you and I and Aldo and I think Alex Acevedo was on air with us that night, and then Greg was in the background, and then all of a sudden all you
like
see
the
is
second
smoke
show on video
everywhere.
that we did.
Yeah. So Aldo, we're just sitting there
cut
talking.
to Greg.
Aldo reaches down and adds him to air, and then Craig sees himself and realizes he's got a mouthful of smoke, and the whole room is full of smoke. And he's like, I think I have that clip on my phone. I'll have to go back and look. He's like, Aldo, and then Acevedo steps all over it. And with his story.
Did.
Yeah. It was
he fucking didn't see the moment and let Greg react.
I think I might have that
he
video
kept
on
telling his story that Greg already took over in this moment. If you could picture that, because it was prior to the legalization in Illinois.
But
so
yeah, to Jim's point though, our final show over there was raising money for kids with cancer. Do you remember he grew his hair out and then he ended up Jenny shaved his head live on air
on live?
That was the final show we ever did over there. Last one.
Really enjoying the show. DG Daniels, $20. Really enjoying the show, guys. Wondered what Jim's thoughts were about private equity getting into the NFL and college sports. Your thoughts, Jim, for DG?
Well, I think that's the future. I think that's what's going to happen is, that's if you look at the evolution of every business, private equity, the private equity runs our business now, right? Like we ended up merging our biggest competitor because private equity took that together. Private equity is going to do the same thing with sports. And the NFL and MLB and NBA are going to try and lock them out, but there's a lot of money. That's where all the money is. And so I think the reality is you can't lock them out. They'll set up a structure where it will work, like they were trying to do with the SPAC. Alex Rodriguez was trying to do it with the Yankees and the Mets, and it's not gonna. You just cannot set up the bylaws where you can block everything out, and big money is going to rule. And that's what I hope happens with the Bears. Private equity taking the Bears over could be good because the Bears are a poorly run organization. Private equity will run it in a way that will be profitable, but will run a business in a way that's going to generate real revenue for the company, but will make a good experience for the fans.
Round. Look at that. I'm going to say no on the nipple rings.
Well, Greg just got
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you fucking... I told you Aldo was going to do that.
Hey, real quick, I want to make a point here. My wife.
Sharice's comment is up there. How weird is all that?
Yeah.
Wow, you did have the clip.
Yeah. Oh, I have.
You have clips like that?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, my best time at the game with you guys was with Cherie at the game. She's a great, and then when her and her mom came to our house, it was amazing.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
You got to hear the story about when Cherie's mom came to my house. Videos of that too.
You know my mom gonna get you for that shit. Well, I get as much as she was happy to be there, y'all. Just so y'all know, the only person she cared to take a picture with was Phil.
Just so slick and skinny in a hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was telling her, I said, "Mom, you were there around like Chicago sports, like legends." And she's the only
Listen, Phil has a special quality about him. I love Cherie's mom. I do.
I'm going down.
So did Jim.
Vortex
Jim,
of old videos.
Jim, did she get any books?
I don't think she got a book. I gave a bunch of books.
You gave a bunch of books.
I don't think she
Herb
took
Howard had a whole fucking DVD collection that you gave him.
I almost got Jim's Harry Potter collection, but
it was close.
I still have. You can come. I'm in Wheaton. Come on over.
There you go. The invite has been sent. Jim has the first edition Harry Potter with the autograph signature from the author. Is that?
I do. I have the first edition. What's it? The Arthur Miller
Yeah, you have that
book.
It's Death of a Salesman, right?
Death of a Salesman. That's a good one.
That book was.
And I have a first edition Stephen King book. His first book he ever wrote.
Which is
signed
what?
by Stephen
You know?
King.
Do you remember what it is?
I think it's Salem's Lot. It's worth like 20 grand or something like that.
Salem's Lot.
I have the new book. I'm going to Wyoming tomorrow, Jackson Hole.
Really?
Vacation. So I'm gonna read that book. But Stephen King's my favorite.
I love Stephen King.
Yeah, me too.
Did you read the fairy tale? That one? I think that came out.
I haven't read that. I have an audiobook. I haven't read it yet. But
Oh,
it's on
you
my
gotta.
list.
It's good.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite Stephen King book, Jim?
He had a book called On Writing, which is about how he writes books. It's a more of a biography kind of book. That's his best book. And my favorite book he wrote that's like a traditional Stephen King book is probably Christine, which is about the car that
I have that.
tries to kill people. But every one of his books, I just read his book.
He wrote The Mist, right?
The Mist, The Long Walk. I read
love The Mist, that movie.
He did Shawshank Redemption, which you've seen. He did The Stand, which is he did Stand By Me. I'm sure you've seen.
I know, Stand By Me. I mean, come on. Who hasn't seen that movie besides Cherie?
Misery.
Wow, really?
Wow. On Jim's television list, Cherie's seen 4 shows.
By the way, you got to send my television list out. I
know.
update that every month.
Can we get the?
I have it right
link
here.
up? Let's
Open
allow
I'm
our
going to tell
listeners-
you the mindset and what's in this thing. So it's
Yes.
it's
Here we go.
updated monthly.
Yeah.
It has the best shows, in my opinion. You know, I have the top 7,000 shows or whatever. It has the network. Send the link out so people have it. But Game of Thrones, best show. Now, this is my opinion, so some of it's skewed a bit, but most you take out my skew part out, and it'll be fine.
How many is the list? So your number 1 is Game of Thrones,
which I think is the greatest show ever made. But and I'm sure people are like Survivor. Well, throw that out because it's a personal thing. Battlestar Galactica, greatest show, right? If you haven't seen that, amazing. The Wire, amazing show. You haven't seen it?
Wire set the tone for the long, elongated series.
Amazing. Better
Drama.
Call Saul. Well, the Oz did. Oz was
Oz was the one. It wasn't
Better
The
Call
Wire.
Saul, The Office, Breaking Bad. Let me tell. So I'm going to tell you a few to watch that are probably
They're moving up.
sleepers.
They're moving up the roster sheet. Where can we get a link for? Do we have a
So I'm
link?
going to send you a link, but I'm going to tell you a few to think about that you don't know about. Just so this is the best thing to come out of the show, right? So number 1, have you seen The Night of?
The Night of? No.
What number is that? Do you know?
I think it's
Right here, 40. 40.
Okay.
The Night of. You have it ranked
HBO
40.
Max.
Yeah, The Night of.
HBO Max show.
Yeah, put that on your list. The Night of.
Shogun on your show.
It is. It's probably in the top 100 something.
True Detective season 1. Did that make your?
I don't do seasons, so it has to.
No, it has to encapsulate.
The new season's good, but the last 2 have been bad.
So that pushes your. No, they need people.
I
need
like the 4th season of True Detective. That one was really. This last one with
4th is good.
Foster
The
was
Night.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chappelle show is on your list, correct?
The what?
Dave Chappelle show.
Every show's on here, but it's how where it's.
Every show.
You gotta bring Ivan on.
I'm going to tell you a few to watch that you don't know about. So The Night.
Yeah, some blowback here, Jim. Key and Peele over the Chappelle show is criminal.
I agree. Sorry.
Well, that's a good point. The Key and Peele stole the Chappelle show whole series, right?
The concept of it.
So it switches back and forth based on time. It also takes an point of view of today's culture.
Jim puts deep thought into his rankings, guys.
Where is Sopranos on here?
I didn't like The Sopranos.
You didn't like it?
What? Jimmy. I can't believe it. I love The Sopranos. He's got numbers to back it up.
Yeah.
I love it.
I did like the what was the show that you told me about, Phil, that was about making of The Godfather?
That was
higher. The Offer List, I think it's
The
called.
Offer List. That show.
No, The Offer. It's just The Offer. Yeah.
The Offer.
Yeah.
So that's a great show. That's in the 500s, but it's at some point I run out. There's so many numbers.
How many is the list?
If you go down to the bottom, I think it goes down to like 5,000 something.
56. Baby
Talk. What is that?
Baby Talk is a terrible show. It's made after that show. Look Who's Talking.
It's not as good as Joni Loves Chachi up there at 56-46.
So South of Sunset was the guy from the Eagles, did a drama show. It was terrible. There was 2 episodes of it. You can watch these ones at the bottom. I guarantee you.
We have to have Cherie watch some of the bottom show. Look
Phil,
at
I think
Kardashians.
Phil,
right
when you
there.
left Hofstra, weren't you in
They
that
should be at the
one right
bottom.
there? Homeboys in Outer Space. Weren't you in that show?
Homeboys in Outer Space. He's in space.
Dad, I'm leaving Hofstra. On this new show on UPN, Homeboys in Outer Space.
He even has the channel. He gives it a ranking. So what's that ranking there? 5.6.
That's the IMDb score.
Oh.
And then there's the year it was started, and then the Rotten Tomato score, and the number of years the series ran in the last year, and then the Metacritic score and the number of votes.
So Freaks and Geeks comes in really high.
Amazing show. Amazing.
That you can watch on Netflix.
Have you seen The Americans?
The Americans I liked.
Number 10, The Last Dance.
Great show.
Love it.
The Americans is Chernobyl. Amazing.
I have not seen Chernobyl yet.
Have you seen Silo?
Love Silo.
So
Can't
Silo
wait for season 2.
Chernobyl's better than. Have you seen The Last of Us?
Of course, yes. I love that.
The guy that did The Last of Us did Chernobyl. And Chernobyl's better.
So
this guy doesn't play around with his lists. So if you have a question, I have to question why no Sopranos.
Real quick though,
especially with you love that.
Number 14, the Band of Brothers. We're
awesome.
one episode in. I've seen it before, but I'm making my son watch it with me.
Oh, that's a great show.
That's outstanding show.
Sopranos is 252. So it's in the top 500. So it's good. It just
I would have it.
Mafia. You should know from our book club. I'm not a big mafia guy.
Yeah, it wasn't you that picked that. That was Zorich.
Was Christopher Zorich picked the first book. We're still on our second book. There they are.
I still have that. It's Jim's favorite book is the one we're.
Yeah, I have to catch up, man.
I bought the audio book. I have it.
Yeah, we have to do our annual book club meeting.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Zorich needs to go grocery shopping. Zorich needs to go grocery shopping.
I'm so mad y'all won't include me when I get in y'all boys only club.
No, it's a year and it takes a year for us to read.
This is a legitimate book club, though. Zorich has a full spread, and then Jim sends us food in the mail that pertains to the book. I had some my kid massacred. What were those that you sent us?
They're like Italian cookies or something.
Yeah, Riley smashed those, man. He loved them. So funny.
Better than frozen pizza.
Y'all got 2 guys in the book club that don't even like reading.
No, that's why
You
should have heard Phil and I huddling up, like we're just gonna do the audio book, right? So that's what we did.
I could not. I was working out in the gym, listening, and then all of a sudden, I'm serious. I don't know if this happens to you. I'm listening to this audio book, and all of a sudden, I'm like seeing it in my head.
But remember the audio book that I sent you of it. It had each
different
character
voices,
doing
yeah.
it. So yeah, you would find yourself, you would lose yourself into it. Yeah, and your picture and everything.
Where's Alf on your list?
It's got to be at the bottom. Let's look. Alf.
This is a spreadsheet. You can filter the columns.
Can you get
Alf is 5587?
Oh, there you. Hey, Willie. That was his voice.
I'm just looking at some of these. The Lone
What's
Ranger.
the color coding?
It's just to make it easy to read.
Is the Lone Ranger the oldest?
Everyone can see this.
Is the Lone Ranger the oldest one?
Text me the.
No, there's plenty of older ones in there.
You can filter the year column to see what's the oldest.
Jim, why don't we put this under
deal with
the
this
Chief Never Lies?
Yeah.
Tom Larrison list.
Yeah.
Something like that, so we can make it easy. You know what I'm saying? And then we give it. I want fans to check out this list. There could be some helping. Book of Ezra is very concerned about your Simpsons and Sopranos ranking. He's very upset.
I don't like Simpsons. Sopranos, I'm not a big fan.
Why
this is my list.
This is his list.
Yeah, back off Jim's list. Man.
Oh yeah, you get your list. You wait till the fucking YouTube comments come in tomorrow, Jim.
How this motherfucker with the bald head doesn't have Sopranos?
I'm on Team Braggs. Fuck this guy.
Team Braggs all the way. Bridgerton is 417.
Oh, this motherfucker's got the in-betweeners at 440. Fuck this.
So does this list include? Well, you had the Kardashians on there for some reason. So
every TV show,
reality.
Kardashians is way literally.
Yeah,
the last
they should be last. I don't.
Look, Diddy's Girls Club. Oh, it's Daddy's Girls Club. Diddy doesn't really like girls. Sorry. You gotta just roll with the punches here.
Homeboys in Outer Space.
Homeboys in Outer Space. Somebody.
The Briefcase. That's a great book. That's a great one.
The Briefcase. Do you remember what was that show? Early Edition. Do you remember that one?
The TV, the one that
Chicago. The guy got the newspaper early, a day before, and it's told the future, and he would go. It's the dude from Friday Night Lights, the head.
Yeah, that's 2972.
Really? Early edition, 2972. Wait,
early edition.
Where's my Quantum Leap?
Quantum Leap. I'm sure
the old one or the new one.
I like both, but the old one obviously set the tone.
Quantum Leap is 869.
Good. It's up there. Based on this number, you're right. Sopranos is, I think it should be higher, but again.
Well, you create a list because it gets hard when you create lists.
Quantum Leap is 870, Jim. You're off by one.
870. Okay.
870.
Yeah.
So what?
You got some people in here asking about anime or any anime shows in there.
Yeah, there are.
Blue-Eyed Samurai. Did that make the list? I loved it.
Which one?
Blue-Eyed Samurai on Netflix. Have you seen it yet, Jim?
I've seen it.
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, I would suggest you check it out. It might. Homeboys in Space. There it is. Homeboys in Outer Space.
Blue-Eyed Samurai is 1366.
Wow, I would want that higher. Well, I got to look at the list.
You assholes crash the Lambo? Is that on there? Inside joke.
Bonanza.
Married with Children.
Children's got to be high on Larrison's list.
No, I'm not a big fan, but Married with Children is 3742.
Cherie, do you have a show that you're want to know about?
No, because the numbers he keeps spinning out for the shows I do like. I don't know. This is his opinion, so.
Yeah. I really like that show. Door Prize on Apple Plus.
Oh, that's pretty good. I bet you it's not that bad though.
So Jim, when you started this, how many years ago did you start this list?
Like 10 years ago. Big Door Prize is 535.
So when you've done it over, what's the biggest jump that a show has taken? Do you know? When you revised it, you're like, well, I really missed the boat on that.
I could look back. My guess is down weighted was Mad Men, was high at first and dropped a lot.
Mad Men, that was on AMC.
Yeah, so Mad Men I had originally really high, and then it was bad after the first year.
Okay, so this is a show I'm curious about.
Cherie's favorite show.
Jeopardy? I'm sure that's on there.
Do game shows go on this list?
Yeah.
Wow. This guy even goes into games. Sounded like the Jeopardy. I would like to solve this. What is Lupin? Look, Teen Wolf is in there.
So Jeopardy, Celebrity Jeopardy, regular Jeopardy is 325.
Okay, Cherie, you're in the
Celebrity Jeopardy 752.
Okay.
Jeopardy Masters is 3655.
Where's Mayor of Kingstown?
Now that's high.
Yes, I really like.
That's a great show. Mayor of Kingstown is 65.
There you go. That's a great show on Paramount.
Yes.
Do you like the what's it? The God, I just lost Yellowstone.
No, I hate that show. It's stupid.
Oh, the negative comments are going to come out even more now.
It's at 806, but my wife loves that show, but that show's stupid.
What about your wife's favorite show? I just lost it. I had it. The soccer coach.
Oh, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
42.
Ted Lasso is 42. I mean, that's a great.
Where is it? 22?
42.
Ted Lasso is great writing and great television. So it belongs up there. I thought you had it at 22. My favorite number. Weeds is in there. Look at that. True Blood.
On Weeds.
I don't think I've watched 11/22.
Jim made an appearance on Weeds, Shane.
Yeah, I was on the show Weeds at one point, so that's why.
Oh, really?
Yes. We gotta get that clip.
That's funny, Robert Nash. Press your luck. I was just thinking about that.
No whammies. No whammies.
Yeah, where's the Tape Never Lies ranked?
Are we?
Press Your Luck is 674. The Tape Never Lies isn't a TV show yet.
Oh,
it will be.
Well, hopefully.
I thought Jim was going to come out 578.
Yeah.
It's 52.
I'm watching the show Eric right now. Have you seen that? It's
I know what you're talking about. It's not. I don't think it's on the list yet.
It's not going to be on the list yet. I don't.
It might be. Let's see, Eric.
What did I hate that Netflix doesn't, because I'm so forgetful. I'll be like, what did I just watch? It was so good.
Oh, they're like you don't have like a recently watched.
Yeah. What did you watch? Like put that in a category. Oh yeah, that was good. Because that's some of the things you like to talk about at these.
So Monday Night Football at 83. So is Thursday Night Football on there now?
Yeah, I'm sure it's low.
What about Sunday Night Football?
It's probably lower than Monday night.
Really? You like Monday better? Clearly.
Wait, are you talking about the Manning brothers, the Manning cast?
No, he hates that shit. Oh, maybe he loves it. He might like it.
So I would say a few shows to watch. Under the Bridge. You haven't seen that yet.
Under the
Friend
Bridge.
of the Family. Under the Bridge, Friend of the Family. 2 shows to watch. They're good.
I need a pen. I'm gonna text myself in my notes. Evil, my show. I love Evil.
That's a good show.
Where's that ranked?
It's probably in the top 400, I'm guessing.
Under the Bridge.
Only Murders is pretty high for you. I'm a fan.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Only Murders in the
Under
Building.
the
Have
Bridge.
you seen The Bear?
I have not watched that yet.
That's a great show.
You like that one, Jim?
That's great.
The Bear. What was the Under the Bridge, and what was the other one?
Under the Bridge and The Friend of the Family.
A Friend of the Family.
And Apples Never Fall. Never Fall.
Apples?
Apples never fall.
Apples never fall.
Is there a chance Hard Knocks can move up into the top 100 after the Bears?
Could.
Feature?
What's the Bears?
Yeah. That's what I like about his lists. He weighs the seasons out. Like the Pacific, that was good. Do you remember Amazing Stories by Steven Spielberg back in the day? And then they did a reboot of it. So that probably pushed it down. But I thought it was amazing when I was a kid.
So your number 2 show, Survivor, Jim, do you remember our meeting that you set up for Phil and I with your guy from Survivor?
With Johnny Fairplay?
That was when we were starting TTNL. We hadn't even done anything yet. And Phil and I met with him on, I don't know if it was on Zoom or I don't think it was StreamYard at the point. Yeah,
It was StreamYard.
Was it?
Yeah, because he had it too. So Johnny Fairplay. We got to get him on the show.
Yeah, because he's like, I never lie, but he lies.
Never lies. That's all he does. Lawrence Chrisman wants to know Ozark, Jim.
Oh, that's high, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's really well done.
Ozark is 69.
Nice. Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeld, they got to be in the top 50. Correct?
Well, Curb is, I think, in the top 10, maybe.
Top 20. Remember, Shane pointed that one out.
Yeah, 17.
Seinfeld's got to be in the top 50.
There it is, 24. Right there, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
There you go, Jim.
Phil, who was it? Was it Lauren Cox?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love Lauren.
Hated Seinfeld. Wasn't it Lauren Cox?
Yeah. He's like, it's not funny. I go, what?
I went on Instagram the other night and he was doing stand-up comedy. Did you see that?
Who? Jerry?
Lauren Cox.
Lauren Cox is doing stand-up comedy.
Yes.
I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Can have me, Lauren, and Adam Rank. We can go around and have a comedy tour. And our guy, Tony from Arizona. We'll bring him on.
Homeboys on the stage.
Homeboys on the stage.
Yeah.
Sons of Anarchy. Shane.
What the fuck? Somebody just said Kiefer Sutherland. What was that show?
24.
No, not that. He was.
Oh,
when they blew
Designated Survivor.
Designated Survivor. Where's that?
Jim, I like that show. It's
pretty. Me too. I loved it, and then they fucking canceled it.
I know, but they put one last season on Netflix.
Yeah,
that was it. But 24,
701. But it's a good show.
Yeah,
701.
Dude, you run out of shows. You like it's something.
701.
So I guess
Friday Night Lights right there at 20.
So basically, Jim's good shows are all in the top 1,000. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you at some point you're at so many shows like
Squid Game. I saw that in there. I have to watch Chernobyl now.
So 7 of your top 10 I've never seen in my life.
We got to watch
Battlestar Galactica.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen a single.
Shane, what?
I've never seen it.
Oh my god!
You have to watch.
Same with me.
Survivor. I've never seen a single episode of.
Same.
Battlestar Galactica. I've never seen it. The Wire. Never seen it. Better Call Saul.
You never seen Better Call Saul?
No. Breaking Bad.
Y'all talk about me not watching stuff.
You don't watch movies. Cherie didn't even know what Star Wars was, Jim.
I'm a Trekkie. I don't do Star Wars.
She thought it was Reagan's plan to take down the Russians. I can't believe you haven't watched Game of Thrones, though.
No,
Shane.
I never have.
Forget
Shane, you
Band of
start watching
Brothers.
these from the top down. One
Yeah,
to
start Game
20.
of Thrones now.
All right. So if out of the top 10, obviously, so is that where I should start? Is Game of Thrones?
Top
Yes.
10.
Because then you got to watch House of Dragon. Wait, is that on the House of Dragon's on the list, right?
It's on. I mean, everything's on here. But
36, 14.
He's got it all.
I'm guessing.
Have we updated the website so people that are listening can go see this? Or can we get a link?
I'll put a link on the thing. Hold on.
Can you just text it to me and I'll type it up for us? Or text it. I'll send it to Ivan. He can type it.
I'll send it. Hold on.
Whoever. Somebody type it. So
If
that
you go to here, I'll give link.
I mean, yeah, full disclosure, Shane, you don't need to see the last season of Game of Thrones, but everything leading up to that.
No. It's gotta watch all of it. It's
If you go to
amazing.
that link, I just put linktree.jlarison. That will get you to the link.
You texted it to me?
I put it on the chat.
Oh, it's in the chat. Put Jim's.
Riley's old enough to watch Game of Thrones.
I don't know. There's some sex scenes in that thing.
Oh, yeah. First.
Like, should we just forget all
Riley
the
just
sex
went to
scenes?
the freaking prom. for
I
that.
was all for the killing. I'm sorry.
X-rated.
Oh yeah, the sex. Oh, right.
I
Me and
read the
Sheree are
books
the
now.
same.
I'm struggling reading the book because I know what's happening, and I'm like, the books are so long. So I'm
You're
really like,
reading
let's
the
just do
books
the
too?
action.
You're reading the books too.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones books, yeah. But they're long.
Yeah. X-Men 97. I've been hearing a lot of chatter that I got to check that out.
Yeah. it's
X-Men
good.
97. Oh, here we are. We're all back in unison. We're going to get Jim's link up there as soon as he types
Hey,
it
does
up.
anybody recognize that guy?
There he is.
There. See me in the background?
There's Jim Larrison in the background over her
Compliments
shoulder.
of bullets.
Bullets found this?
Yes.
How?
Do you want to see how this clip starts?
Yes. Are we allowed to play it? Oh, the vulva. The vulva.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. This is the same handbook that we gave Ivan when he started at TTNL. We told him,
Weeds right
Chris,
there.
Chris Jackal went in there and he never came back. That's why.
Oh my God. Jim, guest appearance on Weeds. The show Weeds was great.
I love that show. All right, I gotta go. I got a flight at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Ouch.
First of all, we got to thank. Can you get the link? I don't.
I sent it on the chat.
It's
on
not in there. Oh, it's in the
Linktree.
private chat.
No, well, I can send it on the private chat too.
Or just
It's,
text.
I didn't see it in the link.
Wait, what do you want the link for, Phil?
I want to put it up on the bottom here so people can go to his list so they can see it themselves.
Oh, we can put it on our YouTube page.
Right, but I also people are lazy too and might as well get it on there. Breaking Bad was elite. I totally agree. It's in my top 5. Here it is. The link right there. Link tr.ee /J Larrison. Link tr.
It's
Linktree.
Don't overthink it.
No, there's a dot there. They have to.
I
put
know, but just say
someone
it's.
might be listening.
Just go to Linktree and search J Larrison.
I never heard of Linktree in my life.
A lot
Never.
of comedians use it. I know.
Really?
Yeah.
You know that QR
Jim
code
is
that we have on
always
our
ahead of
stuff?
us. He's ahead of the game.
Phil, you know our QR code that we use that's on our business cards and on our on our banners here? That's all from Linktree.
Well, if it wasn't for Jim,
The list is in view only. I can't make modifications.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
she's gonna
can't
change
touch
it up.
his list. He's smart. Don't let anyone touch that list.
Jim's gonna look at his list. Yeah, who the fuck moved Homeboys in Outer Space to 7?
Well, Jim Larrison, amazing appearance on the show tonight, man. I love you first and foremost. Everybody knows that. Shane as well. We can't ever thank you enough. I think we owe you like 9 lives for me and Shane, as much as you've helped us and always are there for us. And
Absolutely.
You're just
can't wait to get there this fall and shake this guy's hand. Even though he used to run, he used to run.
Brother's got a hug.
He used to run by my house and didn't even know. I'll never
like a
forget
block
that. He's
away.
like, yeah, Robinson Road. And I'm like, yeah, you know that's where I live, right? He's like, you do not. And I'm like, yes, I do. I live on Robinson Road.
How crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It is crazy.
Like, we used to go to this restaurant called Foxy's, and I drove there, took a picture, and said it's like 30 seconds from my house.
It's
crazy.
bugged out. It's bugged out. Well,
yeah, what'd you say? It was your wife's?
My
grandparents?
wife's aunt.
Okay.
Lived there, and we went there many times, like literally next door to where you are.
It's so funny.
It's crazy.
Small, crazy world. If it wasn't for Talking Bears, I would have never had the pleasure of meeting this guy. So the old network did have some positive things where I met a lot of people like Cherie and Greg and so on and so forth, but none better than Jim Larrison.
And we do have one more quick question, Jim, for you before
Yes.
you leave. It's 2030. Where are the Bears playing?
I think if I'm putting money on it, which
Yeah.
if I could,
That's all you do, Jim. Come on.
I'm gonna say Arlington Heights is 90% chance.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Bet on Larrison. I know I will. Right? Angelo's very economical. We tried to get him on tonight with my dad and you to wish my dad my dad.
I want to meet that guy.
We're gonna bring him to Chicago.
Yeah.
As long as you
They won't let him on a plane for sure.
We're doing a pizza run. I'm coming down to Connecticut, and we're all gonna do the.
Imagine
New
if
Haven
Jim
thing.
could fly in for that.
Oh man,
When is
that'd
that?
be
I'll fly in.
Dude, we gotta have you there. Angelo, Shane, Jim.
Remember the chipmunk? Will he be there?
Of course. He's talking about Jeff Kroom's got.
Yeah.
Jeff brought home pizza.
I remember. Yeah,
And he
I
was-
think Jim told me this separately. He's like, yeah, he was all
Dude.
fired up.
Oh my God. Shy, our dog, stole his pizza and in the box. And I just told him, I go, move your pizza way over there and he was helping Stafford. Shy got it. And he had like in his head the plans of how he was gonna recook that shit.
Oh, man.
He had
He
the
was-
whole he stormed out of my house. I looked at
Overthinking fucking pizza. Holy shit.
that's how good the pizza is.
Oh, it's good, but I mean, come on.
I know where he's at though. Like when you start planning, like later tonight, I'm gonna cook this up.
Yeah, but he lives how far from New
No.
Haven? 30
Dude,
minutes.
it was so funny. I think Jenny's reaction to it. It's Jim's wife, Jen's reaction was the best. She was like, "Wait, he's that upset about pizza?"
Yeah.
That's
I
hilarious.
go, "It's modern, Jen." Well, Jim, I love you, man. I will let you know when.
We'll keep you updated because I'm definitely making the trek down.
It's gonna be a summer.
I'm
And
glad you guys. Hopefully, you guys let me know about the modern thing. And
Yes.
I bought a ton of tickets for the Patriots game, so hopefully someone's coming to that.
Yeah,
we're coming no matter what.
Yep, I know. I'm 100% going to be there.
Lady
this
Bear and Jose and Carrie.
I think my son is going to make the trek with me. Also,
All right,
Riley's
that's
coming.
cool. We got tickets.
You know,
Yeah, love it.
All right, Jim.
I gotta go, guys.
Safe trip, Jim.
Yeah, safe travels.
Give the boys and your wife a hug.
And your wife, my love.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye,
Jim.
Bye,
Love
Jim.
you, Jim. The great Jim Larrison.
That was fun.
You hear us talk about him all the time. You got to meet him tonight. That's why. I mean, is he not like brilliant? I love that guy.
Yeah.
So buy your tickets. Get yourselves prepared for New England. Matthew
I don't
P.
think they're not. Yeah, they're not for sale. I'm just being. It's for the.
No. Yeah.
It's for the.
He's letting people know he bought it for the TTNL
crew.
My dad and the people that are gonna come, and Cherie, obviously.
Cherie's chicken wing guy and my son, and
I don't know if chicken wing guys.
Cherie's donut guy. Cherie's spaghetti, the Italian night guy.
Does he get a
crystal
ticket?
meth guy?
Crystal meth guy.
I'm not smart.
We're gonna set it up though. Angelo is gonna be sitting right next to you, Cherie. It's gonna be so fun.
Not gonna happen. I love all.
Jesus.
What?
Oh, let's
I'm
wrap
going
it
to
up.
a carnival with Angelo possibly on Friday.
Oh God.
I told him all I want is to video. He goes,
Is there going to be a roller coaster there?
There isn't any, but he said he's never been on a roller coaster because his parents wouldn't let
Take him to fucking Six Flags.
I already have it planned. We're going to Six Flags.
You need a fucking GoPro, so you're just staring at him the whole
when we
time.
Go to Modern. We're gonna go to Six Flags that day.
So me and you on each side of him on the fucking roller coaster. Oh my God, this is gonna be amazing.
With Riley, Tate, Devin, Angelo.
Coach, I don't really like this.
Coach, I'm a little nervous on this cyclone ride.
Hold me, coach. Hold me.
He did say,
Somebody call Penelope Cruz.
You'll sit with one of my boys. He goes, Coach, I feel more comfortable sitting next to you. Basically, after that kid.
You want to end the night with an Angelo voicemail?
Yes.
This is just random. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them over the past week to choose from.
It's just play Angelo roulette and just pick one. See what we get. Hey, Coach.
Hold on.
I love.
Here you go.
Shane, this is Angelo. When you have a chance, give me a call back. I want to ask you something. How to get a clip from the YouTube and put it on Facebook. Thanks, Shane.
Here's mine from tonight. I just want to see what we got here. I got nothing. It was
Shane,
just
this is Angelo. I was wondering if I'm going to be on the show tonight. Let me know, all right, Shane?
Breaking news. No.
Oh, no.
Coach Phil, listen, we had a great show last night. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things and put on Facebook, but I don't know how to do that. When you call me back, Coach Phil, you run it by me and tell me how to do it so I can do it, all right?
Oh, Phil, real quick, that voicemail,
Angelo.
That is from last Thursday, correct? Mine's May 30th, 2024 at 7:19 p.m. What's your timestamp on that?
Hold on.
Mine is 5:30:24, 7:19.
Mine is May 30th, 2024 at 6:57 p.m.
All right, so he
I
gave us a
called
little
me
20-minute buffer.
There you go. Ivan pulled through and got all the
Shane,
stuff.
this is Angelo from Connecticut. Happy Memorial Day, man. So you're a fan, all right? I hope you have fun.
Angelo from Connecticut. The fact that he throws Connecticut in there is the best. Do
you recognize this one?
Fuck you.
That's Greg.
Yes.
Tonight, right?
Oh, I'm waiting for that one.
I'll be tomorrow morning. You motherfuckers. Listen.
Nobody defended me.
Yeah. Cherie defended you.
We got a bigger strip.
What is that laugh? Anyway, we had a great show tonight. Coach O came on the show. We wished him a happy birthday. And then we had the great Jim Larrison breaking down the stadium, the business side of things. I learned a lot tonight from Jim and this situation. And then Shane put a big, giant bow on it with asking him that last question. And I think, why don't they skip to the chase and just get the fucking Arlington Heights deal done now? And Jesus Christ, make Chicago Bear land happen. It should be the Disney World of football over there. They should have a Walter Payton roller coaster. It starts, you go up the biggest motherfucking hill you could think of. They drop you off. But an amazing show tonight.
Oh, this is Claudio the Barber. Yo, 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 this is Claudio the Barber. Oh, this is Claudio the Barber. This is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports, keeping it 100. Listen, it's Jesper Horsted's world, and we're just all living in it. Oh, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports, keeping it 100. I see you, Sherry. I see you. This is Michael the fucking killer right here. All right?
Never mind. Take him off. I can't even understand him because of the mask. It's done. Take it off.